in our adventure. After traveling through the Barrens, deep within the Emerald Forest, you all tracked down and defeated Sarzarinth, the Rot Prince, battling the massive and elusive Shadow Dragon, temporarily banishing him, then finally cutting him down. You looted portions of his lair beneath the corrupted Druidic Citadel, then camped outside to recover. However, through some scouting and curiosity during the long rest, many dark dryads that were mindlessly gathering at the enormous tree that looms over the citadel noticed your presence and attacked. And after a few threatening moments where they tried to rip Rome apart, they were all fairly quickly dispatched by all of you, though the encounter did interrupt your long rest. And it revealed a little bit some insightful clues into the nature of the tree's origin of death, including the strange otherworldly planar tear kind of carved into the tree's bark as a wound, where Shadowfell energy still emanates from. But you all desperately needed to rest, and so you returned back to camp. And that is where we pick back up in the very early morning, early morning, maybe 3 or 4 in the morning of Lordas, the 9th of Evening Star, right before you're all about to complete your new attempt at a long rest and get your level 9 benefits. To Helperion, you're probably, all of you are able to share watch responsibilities, but you're probably, as usual, one of the first to rise before your allies. What were you trancing about over your long
Oh,
rest?
yeah, that's a really good question. Um, ironically, I knew this last week, and then I was gonna say it when we started, and now it's slipping my mind. Topirian would be trancing on, I suppose, oh, like the corruption that happened here, and he would be thinking of Elena, the leader of the Thantor. And then he was also thinking about the fey creature that we had met, whose theoretical horn he, has now, and just like what it might take to like purify this place, and kind of just thinking about the Emerald and its ancientness and that stuff.
Understood. Well, you are able to rise from your trance successfully, completing your long rest sort of first, but you begin to notice your allies begin to stir. No, none of the dark dryads up above on the citadel, as more have appeared overnight. You can occasionally hear the thudding falls of them from the tree's branches arriving here from wherever else in the forest. Um, but less frequently and far fewer in number. Only about 6 or 7 exist up there right now as you do a quick pass. And by the time you return, your other allies are beginning to rise. However, Cheery specifically, was there anything you were dreaming about intentionally over the past long rest, this more recent attempt?
I honestly, Jerry might want to like peek back into Roulette's mind again. You know what I mean? Just he's curious now at this newfound like ability, and he wants to. He would be trying to see if he could go back and see if she had like rearranged things, if the changes that he had made had become permanent, or if somehow like Roulette kind of resets things.
Understood. You kind of let your consciousness free from your body when you sleep, and once again it's almost like an out of body experience. You can see your allies sitting sleeping around you at this campfire. Yes, let us try again. And you and your patrons focus shift toward Roulette again, and with a rush of wind past your face, you're suddenly seeing into her dream once more. Roulette, do you want to let us know what your new dream is after your previous one had ended with the Dark Dryad encounter?
Um, Roulette would probably be would have dove, would have gone right back to the same original dream that Jiri had stepped into the first time. But so previously it was like an endless sea of workbenches in every different direction with all different stuff on it. Now, after that first incursion from Jiri, all of the workbenches are identical, and she's working on this same like one project, but in like in infinite space. Like it's the same desk in every direction, but it's the same project that she's kind of building. She's still running around in every different direction because it's just what she does in her dreams. But she's yeah, working on something.
So, Jiri, you appear within there once more. Parts of the dream are immediately familiar as Roulette seems to be dreaming the same dream or a similar version of that dream. But many of the workbenches and desks, although familiar, seem to be sort of reset into this space they were before you had tampered in her dream the first time.
I'm gonna try to sneak up and take a peek at what Roulette is working on without her
Okay, go
seeing.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth roll. Roulette, since you're actively working, we'll roll this off your passive perception.
14.
Do I have disadvantage even in dreams?
I'm gonna say no.
Ooh. Wait, what? Oh. It had like some pop-up window appear that I've never seen before. That was weird.
Interesting.
Oh,
With an 11, you get up pretty close to Roulette, but as soon as you almost get a look at what she's working on, her head whips around and she does notice you. And Roulette, Jiri is once more standing in your dream right next to you.
Cheer, you back to help for another part of this?
Oh, hey, Roulette. I was just trying to see what you were working on.
Oh, well, I'm glad to show you. It's not really, I can't really call it my work yet. Out of true honesty, it's something you did. I'm mostly just trying to replicate it right now. And I will show him the rock that Roulette has managed to conjure. It is both glowing and making little uh, animal purring sounds. Um, I, Jiri, I don't want to kind of spoil the surprise for myself, but whatever you did, this is incredible. It's something I've always kind of dreamed I could do, but yeah, it's pretty. I was able to put kind of two of my tinkering magics into one thing.
Oh, I mean, I'm glad I could help. I don't really know what I did, but I'm glad it was useful. Hey, Roulette, come over here. Take a look at this work table. And Jiri will like summon a new one to appear.
I mean, Jiri, all these terrible. Oh, I guess they're not all the same. What you work? What are you working on over here?
Oh, I don't know. This must be from your mind. Look, it's a carpet, a rug, and look, it's flying. Oh, Roulette. Wow, you got such great ideas in your dream.
Is this the carpet you took from the Feywild?
Oh, it looks like it. You must be dreaming about it. That's crazy.
I guess I mean, I could. Telperion does some stuff like this. I guess I could. Making something fly like this might be possible. I guess.
All right, let's file this one away for later, though. You gotta focus on one thing at a time, and he'll make it disappear again.
Oh, I guess. She has a notebook out and she's already writing down flying carpet.
Roulette, you should show me around. Like, what's this way? And he like points off in a random direction. Like those mountains over there. Is this where you live? Are those mountains based on like the mountains where you're from?
Oh yeah, these are the mountains just north of Storm's Edge. I always like to view north of town. It's usually where I go climbing with my daddy when he was younger. But yeah, those mountains, and she'll point in like a different direction, but they're all identical mountains. Those mountains, those are the ones just north of town. I always like to view the northern horizon. But yeah, someday we should go climbing there. It'd be pretty fun.
Oh, why don't we go right now?
I'm kind of working on something, but I guess we could go if you want.
Let's just take a peek. Wait, can we see your town from the mountains?
You can actually you don't even need to get to the top. You can kind of halfway, well, third of the way up, you can get a pretty good bird's eye view of the general layout of the town.
Okay, let's go. And Jiri will try to like teleport us there, like mentally just like make us appear at the top of this mountain.
You kind of just look over in the direction of the mountains you guys were kind of discussing, and air just rushes past both of you, flipping your hair backward, and it is suddenly frigid, and drifts of snowflakes are slowly falling past your face from the high mountains in the northern sky caps. And looking back southward, lower down at the valley, you can see a small little town of Storm's Edge. You guys are high up in the mountains.
Oh, it's cold up here. Okay, we need some mittens and scarves and hats. Jiri makes them like pop onto our hands and like our heads. Roulette, show me around. Where's your town?
Well, it's right down there, and so, um, I never actually. I think I only made it this high once in my life, but yeah, the view from up here is pretty nice. So it's the only town you can see down there. It's kind of split into three, um, and just out of character the way I'll describe it. So the town of Storm's Edge has three major roads that converge in the center of it. Um, I forget one from the like southeast, one from the southwest, and then one going north. Um, and So you can like see those big thoroughfares leaving the town. The other major notable piece is that where they all converge, they don't actually converge at one point. They converge at like the points of a triangle. So there's like three vertices of a triangle where there's three roads get to there, and then there's just like a big triangle in the middle. Um, and she'll describe that. I don't know what it's called, but it's like the central market, like the downtown Storm's Edge uh, sort of place. And then towards the southwest corner, just on the verge of city limits into the country, she'll point out a very, very nondescript house that blends in with everything else. And she'll say, "And that's where my mom and dad are. It's a Tinkerton's Tools and Touch-Ups, just kind of on the verge of town towards Creatia a bit, towards the creation end of town."
Jiri will summon like a spyglass and like zoom in.
You do so, and a spyglass just apparates in your hand, and you get a very clear view of the town of Storm's Edge.
Whoa.
You are learning well.
Oh, thanks, Dad. Roulette, let's maybe we should go visit. But wait, hold on. Do you think this is exactly what it looks like now? Like, how do you know it hasn't changed?
Um, I don't. I haven't been home in a month or two or three. I kind of losing track of time a bit, but this is how I left it last time I was there before all this stuff happened. Before I met you.
Are you worried that it'll be completely different when we get back?
Um, I'm not worried, but I haven't heard from my parents in a bit. They wrote me once while we were still back in Forest Hollow, but I haven't heard from them in a in a month or two, and I think they've heard from me, but they haven't really been able to send any messages back. I know we haven't really heard anything about Durast going into Belladonia, but I don't know. It's a fairly commercial city, I'll call it. There's not I don't know. I don't see Durast going there. It's kind of a useful thoroughfare for everyone involved. So Belladonia, though it's on the edge, they'd probably work to protect it.
Hmm. Well, now that we have our flying kite things, maybe we could get there really quick if we wanted to visit, just to see.
I mean, it's not too well. Yeah, it's just on the other side of the Emerald, really. But it would be a couple of days travel, I think. But we might be able to get there.
Hmm.
That'd be
Yeah.
nice. I kind of would be able to confirm that what I'm showing you here is what it actually is.
I hope it's the same. I'm worried about Jyland being different. But maybe if we go to your hometown and it's exactly the same, then it'll be good news. And it'll make me cheerful that maybe Jyland will be the same. I don't know. Why don't we take the long way? You and I should practice climbing. You want to climb down the mountains together?
Of course, I'd race you if you want.
Okay, let's go.
No jumping. You have to actually climb.
Yeah. So I'm imagining like the dream kind of fades out with us like rock climbing down the hill and Jerry kind of cheating and like levitating when roulette's not working. Looking.
Perfect. You are quite adept, more so than I anticipated, at manipulating your surroundings to suit your whimsy. I wonder if we might do the same to others from our past. In the future, when you wish to expend the use of your wielding of my magics, perhaps we could check in on that witch.
Oh, witch. Which witch?
Her. And you just see kind of materialize in front of your mind the familiar and jarringly so image of Moira, the witch back from Daenor, who you worked for a time.
Oh boy. Yeah. Oh. I'm a little scared now, but yeah, maybe. But not tonight. That's too scary. I want to go back to dreaming about climbing down a mountain. That was way more fun and less scary.
Yes. Small steps, I suppose. Very well. And you sort of feel its sentience pull away from your mind, and you drift off seamlessly back into sleep. Otherwise, you all are able to wake. Again, almost pitch black outside as night, although the heavy mists of this area have started to subside, there's still heavy ash fall from the tree up above, and the pitch black night sky is not letting sunlight into this space yet, even if you've availed the environment of that.
As we wake up, Telperion hands you all like the portion of gold from the shield that he portioned out. I added some silver and gold to like round out the numbers, and then so all that's there. The bottom part doesn't totally matter. But anyway, you can see the gold, silver, and copper. Everyone should add.
Thanks.
Uh, I would say in general, we shouldn't just convert platinum to gold for no reason.
I took 2 platinum and put them in my bag. And I took 20 gold out of my purse.
Got it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Perfect. So Telperion disperses some of the loot you guys gathered the previous night. Otherwise, you're free to wake and do what you please. What do you guys do?
How's everybody feeling?
Weirdly bolstered. I thought we might be somewhat hindered still sleeping in this place, but I feel, I don't know, stronger, or as strong as we were. I've got a number of ideas to prepare, but you know, I've still got time to put these together. I've messages we could send. I could try and ask guidance from Kelimvor on how to proceed. I think we could get the full horde from down there if we so choose.
All right, I forgot about that.
Well, I was gonna say step one before we go back down to that horde. There's some sort of portal or something nasty up by that in that tree. Do we want to see if we can maybe take care of it?
And that was
I have no idea what that
gonna
means.
be my question: is if we had the capacity to do so.
We don't even really know where that leads. Like, where is that exactly connected to?
I think
And
it's
his
safe.
silk then.
It seems
We've been
reminiscent
told
of Sarzarin.
we were told that he came from the plane of Shadowfell, which is similar to the Feywilds. So I don't know what it would take to close a rift to a plane. It is in a tree, so Rome, I was curious if you could potentially work with it. It probably has arcane, or like I feel like all of you are powerful spellcasters and could take a combined effort to see if you couldn't break it.
Perhaps the tree would have some information as to how to close the portal. Like if it's within, if it's actually a part of the tree.
Rome, can you do that thing where you talk to plants and trees again today?
Yes, I'd absolutely love to speak to this tree.
Maybe somebody should like poke their head through the portal just to see what's on the other side too.
You could poke your head into the portal, Jerry.
No, I was offering somebody else to do it, not my.
There's
me.
Shadow Moby.
Or Roulette's flying Moby.
In the
Oh,
meantime,
Moby
I
3
might get a question ready.
Moby 3's out of commission for the time being, but and she'll tear a page out and imbue some magic into the Tome of the Dragon's Hoard, and Alfie will reappear. And he'll shake off the dust.
Okay, let's send Shadow Moby through and see if he dies.
Well, Tilperion, you said there's still a few of those things up there, aren't there?
Yes. I also wonder if Toby, could you speak with the dead today?
Yes, I like, and you see Toby is spending time in prayer, and so any suggestions you have, I can kind of tack those on and get those prepared.
I just think that tree looks really dead. So I don't know if Rome's spell, speak with the plants, would work instead, but you have a speak with the dead, but it's not plants. If you could collaborate your spells somehow.
If you guys start talking at the same time, can you do like a speak with dead plants?
Yeah, could we combine spell casting ability? Both
Only one way to find out.
I certainly could try this a couple times today.
Well, I guess first let's Tilperion, you were just up there. There's a couple of those dryads still up there, right?
Yeah, we could go slaughter them.
I could just have Alfie like lure him away for a bit. I don't know if we want to do that or just kill him. I don't know.
I was just having to think about the nature of the amplification runes that are down there, and obviously we've discovered they were shattered and ruined. I wonder if that amplifier is amplifying the negative effects coming because of this planar rift thing. So I think that dealing with this in whatever way possible would be pretty helpful.
It seems like a two-step process because we have to fix the top probably while we fix the bottom in order to fully neutralize this.
When are we gonna go talk to some people to see if they could help us?
Toby's
I could send out
messaging.
some messages. I could see if Aquilari is able to receive a message from me. If not,
That might be a good first step. Aquilari probably knows a bit more about this than any of us do. So
yeah, and then
Toby,
maybe. Oh, sorry for that. Go.
I was gonna say, Toby, if you're up for it, if you want to just see if you can, reach out to Aquilari and see if they can meet us here.
all right. It'll take a couple more minutes as Toby gets all his magic prepared for the day, but then he will cast Sending to Aquilari and say, Aquilari, Sarzarinth is dead or hindered, sent back to his realm. Can you meet us at the temple? We don't know how to proceed.
Can you roll a D100 for me, please?
Jerry says hi.
Hey, dear.
16.
You focus on Aquilari's visage, his voice, his essence. You send out your communicative message. And you fear you may not hear back until very faintly. Only the sound of what can only be described as a sort of unconscious, melodic lullaby. If he was dead or destroyed, there would be no response, but perhaps his whatever consciousness exists from Aquilari exists still in some form.
I got feedback, which means he should not be dead. But there wasn't words. It was just a. I got a sense that I don't know. Maybe he's recuperating, or I wonder if maybe if Sarzarinth killed him, similar to how we killed Sarzarinth. If he's just regenerating. I don't think he'll be able to meet us here.
I pull out the horn and I hit towards Roulette. You'd think if he was injured, I don't know how he works. It works, they work.
Well,
He's certainly not in a position to come meet us, I don't think.
I think the faster we take care of this portal, the faster we can find Aquilari, help them, and my vote is we go see if we can take care of this tree, whether by talking to it or forcing it.
Let me try and contact my deity and ask if we can fix this with just the 5 of us. Because if I get a resounding no, then it might be best to just sprint off towards the Ashwood or Chimerans.
Or contact Gene, ask his advice.
See how he is.
See how he is. Catch up, chat a little.
And Toby will sit down and begin ritually casting his highest level of contacting Kellenvor, which he expects to be divination, but it will be a little more potent and direct.
What are the components of divination that you typically set out in anticipation for use with that spell?
Incense, mainly. Let me double check.
And typically, is it consumed?
Yes. So I get out incense worth about 25 gold worth, which I believe is all that I've got left. Yeah, I've got 25.
You all see
left.
Toby Rama sort of settle down and cast a spell he has cast before. But the incense flares and is not consumed. And Toby Rama's eyes go completely bright silver light, almost like he's entering a state of otherworldly being. And Toby Rama, your vision fades from this plane. Darkness takes you, and then swirling mists of silver coalesce into a single figure, a familiar deva that you've contacted in the past. And it says, Balance Bringer, your deeds have earned you the favor, continued, of the Eternal Judge. You have freed spirits trapped in undeath that sought not to be. You have banished undeath back to its plane. He sees fit to reward you with higher, more responsible magics. You have now the capability of contacting me at your leisure. rather than me visiting upon you in your dreams? What is it you seek?
Thank you, and thank you to our Lord for this boon. There is a planar wound at the base of this grand tree. Do the five of us here have the capacity to heal it? Or mend it?
Let us look to the mists. And he turns over his shoulder, and you see a sort of vision through the mist, like almost like some people have seen vision through flames or looking into a reflection of water, but you see these swirling mists become images. And you see the forest and a dark spot amongst it, the barrens. You see visions of elvish kind investigating its healing nature, currently unsuccessful or frustrating. You see Villian of Corital, the Beast King, ordering people to fix and repair from the ash what has been broken, but fruitlessly through years. And now you all exist here. Mists sort of drift around both you and Rome, as well as Telperion. And a hint of mist trails from Jiri as well. But the result seems uncertain. Not a clear, definitive answer over whether there's a right or wrong course of action here, but certainly power exists in some of you, or through some of you's connections.
Sorry. Okay. If we were to destroy the source of magic deep at the heart of this temple, would this portion of forest be able to grow again naturally, not in the exuberant way that was provided by the magic, but over time?
As soon as you complete this question, lashing out from the mist, a dark, terrible, gnarled teeth form of Sarzarinth opens its jaw and clamps on you, and your vision fades to black before mists swirl around. And you see Sarzarinth's form tear its way through the tree, through a wound that was left in the tree, and allowed his escape from his plane. However, though the rotting essence of Shadowfell began to seep into this tree, magic coursing through it, of natural means, began to close the wound until Sarzarinth buried his way below the ground, and the closing gap paused and stopped.
And so over time and then kind of just as kind of potentially expecting the connection to kind of fade, Toby will ask, I've felt that I have the capacity to manipulate the dead, or what is left behind. No spirits reside, no souls. Would it be wrong of me to attempt this?
You see in the mists forms of dark-robed individuals wielding staves and forcing their will into corpses and skeletons and raising them, ripping souls from places they should not tamper with and forcing them back into their hosts. And they are dispersed rapidly, these figures in the mist. And then a lone young man walking, siphoning mist into himself, consuming a spirit of undeath who has been freed from this life and banishing Sarzarinth, the Rock Prince. And you see this young man gesture to the side as a elvish individual body. A mist spirit incorporates its body and stands. And you get the sense that normal necromancers that animate dead are sort of puppeting the life essence of magics they have not earned or been given the blessing to use. For those, Toby Rama, that you free from the curse of undeath, should they be willing, will come to your aid and will puppet themselves, bones, corpses, under the blessing of Kelemvor. Not like necromancers who do what they please and rip souls away from planes of undeath, but allies that you have aided coming to your aid when you call.
And then I
And
think
your
Toby might
vision fades
start to
back
try and
into
ask
lucidity.
another question, and it fades.
Suddenly you are soberingly forced back into the chilly air of the Barrens with your friends all around you. And the shining, brilliant silver light from Toby Rama's eyes dissipate.
That a thumbs up, Toby? We fight a tree,
Oh, well,
fix a tree.
that's some really useful knowledge. Okay, so the wound, the rift existed probably after the burning, but it was there, and Sarzarinth tore his way through. The positive energy at the bottom of the temple was closing it in the tree until Sarzarinth burrowed down there, and through breaking it, changing it knowingly, it stopped. The rift stopped shrinking.
We should go try and close that rift somehow if we can, right?
So, unless we are positive we can invert back to normal the magic down low, that's the only way it would naturally close. So I think, and also, I got the sense that it was years of trying to cleanse this place by both Villian and the elves, and it was not successful. And now we are here. Now Rome is here.
So the question is it a matter of forcing the portal to close itself, or healing the tree, which would then close the portal. Because those are two different exercises.
Yes, I think a surefire way, well, I say that, but would halt the magic downstairs, destroying it, and then try and heal the tree.
So you think that one thing has to happen before the other, or they both happening simultaneously?
I think what he did down below prevented the rift from being closed. And I would expect that to still be the case.
You think that we have to go for a swim too?
I don't think we have to go down that low unless we want the treasure, but I mean, I think it's all about that inscription on the wall, the source of the magic. And I think it would be too long for people to come study it, learn how to restore it, and Sarzarinth would return again.
Let's go take a look at this tree.
That's true. We haven't really gotten that close to examine it.
Okay. You all ascend and get near the top of the citadel.
Yeah.
Okay. You see about 8 or so dark dryads just standing in front of the tree, kind of shaking and cracking and moving in jarring motion, but standing still, transfixed on that site of that wound.
Should we wipe these things out, or
You know, ironically, I think that if those things were of a mind, they could help us heal that tree.
Yeah, I was about to add, what if we attempted to heal them? Like, who's to say that they're evil? They may be possessed by something.
Well, that sounds like a job for you and Toby. The rest of us are only good at smashing stuff.
Delpirion, can you do some of your mind reading shit on one of these blatted tree things?
Ooh.
I very much could. I would have to be within 30 feet of it. I'm checking my range now. Yeah, I'd have to be within 30 feet, and I don't have my stealthy cloak attuned right now. And if I get within 30 feet, they might notice me, but I could try. And then I could heal with the obsessively thinking.
Why don't you climb up on the top? You can scooch around, it looks like.
Oh, I could disguise myself as one and hang out with them all day and see what they're up to.
Oh, okay. I'll do this one. So I'm gonna hang out over here. I'll try to stealth.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth. And they also have disadvantage to perceive you, yes?
No, I'm not wearing my cloak right now, so I just rolled an 11 total.
Okay.
But I'm gonna stay on the outside for now.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and I actually don't need to be. So I'm gonna stay on the outside, and I'll actually go down here, like I'm giving it wide berth.
Okay.
And I'll climb back over here. And I probably need to get up.
You may.
All right. So yeah. Well, it'd probably be more quiet if I flew up, and then I'll just this is like a 10-foot wall.
I believe that's what we said, yes.
All right. I'll use my bonus action to give myself a fly speed, and I'll just to save myself the hassle of making any noise as I climb. And I want to try to be really quiet and stay on the wall. And I think from here I'd be able to get one.
Okay. I'll say with the use of a resource to aid your stealth, I'll give you an additional stealth roll, sort of acting as advantage.
Come on, baby.
Oh, it cocked. 6.
Okay.
Stealth.
The 11 will count. You get to the edge of the wall and you step on a pebble and you hear it move, but it hasn't fallen into their sort of territory. You suspect you're just too far to read their mind quite yet, but should you proceed any further, you're going to risk their attention.
Guys, I think Telpir needs a distraction. I'm going in. And I'm going to turn into one of the crawly things and just like
Okay.
waltz on.
Jerry, try and just lead him a little closer over to where Telperian's hiding.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. Go ahead and make a deception check with advantage. Actually, I'm going to say no advantage on this. It would normally have advantage, but there's a reason that would impose disadvantage, so it's going to be a straight roll. You approach, and they all in unison turn around and look at you.
Terrifying.
I like look back at them and like mimic it.
And their unison looking at you just reminds you that they have a hive mind feature that should let them attach to you mentally, which they can't do, and that surprises them. However, perhaps for reasons they don't know, they've been separated from you in their hive mind, and you look the part convincingly enough that they turn attention back toward the wound. A very high DC for that.
All right, I'm gonna skitter this way, like kind of past them to see if like one or two of them follow me kind of to this side of the rift.
I will say with give me a performance check. This one can be at advantage.
Yes.
20's good enough. They seem so uninterested in leaving their position. Whatever has them focused, they're not interested in following other of them. However, the fact that you're moving around does catch this one's attention, the one nearest you, and it does out of curiosity. Maybe the lack of hive mind connection to you, maybe the lack of understanding why one of its own is behaving in this very strange way. But it will move up toward you slowly, but it will get close enough for Telperian you to connect.
We cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. Its surface thoughts you immediately get are a cacophony of not just 8, but dozens of dark dryads, as if they were all standing right next to you and whispering to you simultaneously. Home, 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 where? Where is it? Where's home, home, home?
Terrifying.
I will push further.
Okay, wisdom save on its part.
Yeah, 15, I believe.
This is not a spell effect. The cacophony of voices, it's hard to dive into one being's mind when it is not just one being, but many minds you are seeing into just the surface thoughts. It's too hard to dive deeper.
Okay, the spell ends.
Okay.
If it succeeds, the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that I was probing its mind.
Oh, so it does.
Well, let's see. Yeah.
With Jiri's deceptive behavior being rather high, I'll give you one final stealth roll to try and back away as their attention is pulled upward toward the source of this mind probing, but perhaps not seeing anything.
What am I doing? What kind of check?
Just a final stealth roll.
A nice 8.
They all turn their attention up at you. Intruders! And they will once again attack. However, I meant to do this song. However, you guys have wiped the floor more than this in less resources. So you guys, let me know if the others of you want to hang back or not. But those that want to get involved in the skirmish, let me know in the first round what type of resource you want to expend, and we'll see how much risk you stand to take with the destruction of these brittle creatures.
I throw some slivers down from my advantage or my high ground.
Okay, you're going to use slivers. Jiri, what are you using?
I am going to stay as one of them and just try to like be the bumbling idiot of the crew and get in their way.
Okay. Roulette, Alfie, Toby, or Rome, are any of you going to engage? And if so, in what way? This is going to be kind of a loose, out of initiative combat. But depending on the way you interact with the space will determine kind of what happens.
And yesterday I determined that these don't necessarily count as undead creatures.
Correct. These specifically still seem to be fae, not undead.
Would I know what language these things speak?
They seem to be speaking in common.
Oh, okay.
You all definitely hear the intruders echoing in sort of cacophony dissonance.
Sorry, go ahead.
What was it, Rome?
I was just gonna say, Toby, I think that we should not try and kill these things and instead try to help them see our side and work for us.
Did we try and talk to them at all yesterday?
I think some version of Rome communicating with them went poorly. But in this moment right now, they're starting to all move over in the direction of Telperion, looking up at him. What are you guys doing right this moment?
While we're at least discussing, Toby's going to run, get on top of the wall, and start running around the outskirts of it towards Telperion's location.
Okay. Anything from Roulette or Rome action economy wise?
Yep, go Rome.
Rome is also going to get on top of the wall and start heading towards where Telperion and Jiri are.
Okay.
Roulette's going to run in and hearing Rome's thoughts on potentially not killing them. Roulette is going to cast Fairy Fire, run in and cast Fairy Fire, getting as many of them as possible, seeing that Telperion is throwing from afar. And then I'm going to have Alfie use one charge of the magic missiles to hit like 3 of them, aiming specifically for like legs to try and just slow them down, take them out.
Okay.
And start just generally wounding them.
Roulette with 2 resources. Telperion with the use of 2 slivers. Roulette with the use of Fairy Fire and a charge of magic missiles. This horde starts sprinting over toward you and climbing up the wall. Jiri, they start running toward you and around you, not paying much attention at all to you. But in the first round of combat, Telperion, you are going to, one of them's going to get up to you and is going to do, can I have you roll a single D8?
Eight.
You take 8 slashing damage as one of them gets up to you. However, the other resource being expended by your party toward your aid are reducing the amount of risk you stand to take here. For a second round, things could be resolved relatively quickly. Are you guys still going to try and double down on no conflict or relatively trying to not kill them? Or are you guys going to expend any more resources to get rid of this threat?
I want to yell to them before anything else, having to use like what I just learned about them. And I want to call to them and say, if you want to go home, why don't you just go through the tear?
Ooh.
See if they say anything.
Are we still? You had let your raid thoughts had concluded and let them notice your presence. So you definitely don't get any additional surface thoughts or anything from them, but you don't seem, by calling out into this space, you don't see any change in behavior by any of them.
Oh, I'll then try. I'll do my message one more time, but as a telepathic thought into their hive mind.
Okay, same effect. You issue that thought and no change in behavior.
As Toby is continuing to run over towards Telperion, Michael doesn't remember, and so I don't know if Toby gets this for free, but I want to try and remember, after we defeated the Dark Dryad, a living Dryad showed up and spoke to us, and I want to recall what she was saying. Was she glad we destroyed this corrupted creature? Did she say we could have done something to heal it?
I'm going to say Toby remembers that interaction, but I want a history check to recall any useful details of that. You could make it a nature check if you wish, but it will be intelligence based.
And is there a way I could, knowing I'm trying to recall information, cast guidance on myself to aid with this?
Sure, you as your action casting guidance and trying to remember, I'd let that fly.
Cool. Nature and history are the same, so I'll just do this. Add a d4. That's pretty good.
Ooh.
14.
Above 10 doesn't give you all the helpful information you might want, but it's enough to remember that good Dryad thanked you all for chopping down and destroying a Dryad that was fundamentally separated from its being. You don't remember why that's the case or what the nature of that means or the grand essence of what it means to be separated from your nature or what specifically had to take place for that to happen, but that is why she thanked you.
And if Rome is running kind of alongside with me, I will explain to her. We destroyed one of these before, and a living Dryad thanked us, saying that it was too far gone and fundamentally, separated from its being, and that there was no good left to be done.
Okay, so we must destroy.
That's what I believe.
Okay. That is your action, Toby Rama. Anyone else doing anything specific with this new round of combat?
Firebolt.
Firebolt, okay.
I want to take a spear out of my quiver and throw it at the tear.
At the tear?
Yeah, and see if they react.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Nat 20.
That one.
Oh.
Nat 1. You throw it, and it just sticks into the tree right next to it. Anyone else doing anything with this action?
They were talking about that portal being the home of something. I guess I have one more attack, so I'll just do another javelin at the portal.
Okay.
Nice.
20.
20. You just see that spear rot and be disintegrated upon entering. Not entering whole.
Jiri, don't put your head in the portal.
Holy shit. That would have been bad.
Jiri just
Anything
waves.
from Rome or Jiri in this moment? Or Alfie?
Jiri, I feel like you're doing that little side wave like a... Alfie's going to continue off into the side, kind of skirting around to the opposite direction. Actually, I'll go with Alfie in that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Starting to go this way, just keeping like a large flanking distance away, but also keeping an eye on the portal just to see if anything happens.
Okay. Jiri, Rome.
Jir will say in his normal voice, "All right, the jig is up," and then he will cast his Thunder Step, and he will vanish from this place with a big concussive blast.
Okay, understood. You don't necessarily have to roll damage. I want to know what Rome's doing in this action as well.
Rome is going to produce flame and throw a fiery as well.
So continuing the idea that we unfortunately need to destroy these creatures, but Jiri, with the use of a 5th level spell slot, Telperion, go ahead and roll a d4.
4.
Before the rest of them are destroyed entirely by the next amorphous span of time, you only take 4 more slashing damage as they crawl up to you, but you're able to cut them away. Jiri's use of a powerful spell slot reduces them to nothing. Otherwise, the field is once more empty.
All right, let's go look at this thing.
Don't forget, keep your eyes on the sky in case more of these things plop down. I'll have Alfie chase them down.
So I threw a javelin in it and it just disintegrated. So even if this is home for them, or they are like possessed by something from that plane, they likely can't just go through it.
Ooh, next time one of them jumps down, let's capture it and throw it into the portal.
To get your hook shot ready.
From my communication, it seemed to highlight Telperion, Rome, myself, and Jiri as having capacity to affect this thing. I can try and dispel magic, and maybe even try and do that at a stronger level.
Don't really relent. I know you're very magical.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how I can even affect this at all.
So, the tear appeared, and then Sarzrinth went below and affected the magic so that the tear wouldn't close. Do we want to try and... Do we think what he did now means it can't close?
I think when he affected the magic below, he stopped the tree from healing.
Which would have consumed the tear.
So let's heal the tree, or like talk to it.
Yeah, I believe though, Toby, if you cast speak with the dead, and I can currently speak with plants, if we do it at the exact same time, perhaps we'll be able to communicate with these things.
I think it's worth a try.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast speak with plants.
And I will cast speak with dead and try and see if we can synchronize in any sort of meaningful way.
Out of curiosity, as you both do this, can you both make a wisdom check for me? Okay. You both conjure your magics, and they both seem to have effect. You're not sure if they have consolidated into one magic or if they have just discreetly applied. But Toby, Rami, you do feel connection with your magic. And Rome, you absolutely feel connection with your magic.
I asked Great Tree, what happened here? How exactly did you sustain this wound?
I will echo her question at the same time.
Very cool.
like we're
Toby
speaking.
Rama. Yeah. No, Rome first. Rome, you hear a familiar voice, as you've already spoken with this tree. You've spoken with its roots down below. And it has this horrible, gasping, breathy, dark voice that says, "Hunger! Feed!" And Toby Rama, when you ask the same exact question, you get feed no nourishment. And utilizing both of these spells and understanding the essence of what it's responding, there's nothing for it to sustain itself on in this environment. So how is it alive? Or how is it giving a conscious response? Toby Rama, you've sensed before that this is undead, this tree. Do you both ask another question?
What nourishment do you seek?
I again will echo.
The land stolen from me.
I cast create food and water and like pour water over the roots of this tree to like provide it with some nourishment in anticipation of a positive response.
Okay. You do so, and the water just harmlessly brushes up against the tree and then just falls and pools at the base. It's not receiving it. These roots cannot retain water. They're not even dead, they're beyond death.
Toby and Rome, are you guys telling us what you guys are hearing?
I think we might wait until we finish asking to relay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was great magic aiding you for most of your life. Do you feel magic hindering you now?
You echo the same, Rome?
Yes, I do.
Once more, hearing essentially a same or similar response, but different flavors of it, it gives the response that it isn't allowed to rest. It's being forced into staying this way.
Who, if what, siphons your energy, and in what direction?
You get the response of whoever scarred this land. And at least for the Speak with Dead spell, I believe you have one use left.
Would you accept perishing if that option was made available to you?
Please!
And Toby will feel his magic fade and start relaying what he's heard to the others.
Rome will also disengage.
Okay.
Well, is there a way for us to heal the land then? Also, do we know who caused all this? Tell Baron. You know?
Well, weren't we told that potentially the Belladonians were trying to get back at the Chimerans, and they maybe struck here in a way to harm them?
There was such an outpouring of death in this area with the burning that I think allowed Sarzrinth to tear his way through this portal. It started closing because of the magic trying to heal the damage of this land, and then he corrupted the magic, and that is preventing this whole section of forest from dying and being able to nourish new growth. So I think we have to break the enchantment downstairs and allow nature to take its course.
Or at least outpace the growth of this like death and siphoning of energy.
Well, to Jerry's question of whether we can heal the land, I think didn't we already try? Rome, didn't you try to heal some plants and like only in the immediate vicinity? We would need 1,000 druids.
Or a lot of seeds. We could get a big bag of seeds and fly over the entire land.
We can use the nature of the surrounding area to impregnate this land with new growth.
But I don't think that can take hold until an active source of undeath is destroyed.
Yes.
It sounds like whatever ritual downstairs happened was inverted. It's forcing this thing to stay alive with some kind of necromancy. I wonder if we could resurrect the tree if you have the kind of magic to bring it back to life, but I don't know that we do. The only other way that I could... You said that I was highlighted as being able to help. I only have connection... I don't think that my psionic powers would be of help here, but I do have a connection with the Thanator elves who want to heal this land more than anyone almost, and have tried many different rituals to bring healing back to the land. If you could message Elena...
Yeah. Do you want to help me compose one or two short messages?
Certainly.
Because I would like to...
At some point during this, you'll heal. Roulette will have like walked off, and she'll be mumbling something under her breath to the effect of, "The almighty Kellenvor doesn't think a Tinkerton can do something like this. It's because Kellenvor has never met a Tinkerton before in his life." And she'll have her notebook out, Alfie with a little pen light over it, and she's looking at some new notes of stuff she hasn't done before, and she's taking out her detect magic spoons, which she's now upgraded to have a alternate use. And from probably like 50 feet away, away from this conversation, but at this point, she will pick up the spoons, make a frame that she looks through, and focus on the tear in the tree and attempt to cast Dispel Magic.
Hi. Roulette, please go ahead and roll me, and I guess it's an intelligence check because it's an ability check using your spellcasting modifier.
I will.
Please roll 20.
It's just an ability check, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will just preemptively use a flash of genius, picturing the tear that Toby had used to banish Sarzarinth downstairs, and just kind of focusing on what that magic is. So just adding a 4 to this roll.
Okay.
19.
You reach out and attempt to make that connection, and you make it. And you see the edges of it start to fizz and burn with black smoke. But after a few seconds of holding it, the connection is lost, and you are unable to reduce the size of the tear.
Oh, Toby, not sure you can kind of dispel stuff, right? I just tried a bit of just kind of turning off magic, but it didn't seem to work.
I'd imagine mine would have the same effect, but maybe as a last resort, I could try and pour more powerful magic through it.
Roulette, or no, Realm. Can I borrow some of your berries?
Hmm. Yes, how many would you like?
I want 10. I'm gonna go plant them, and I'm gonna go water everything. We gotta start healing the land.
I give him 10 beans. Seeds.
Okay.
Berries. And Jiri will go find 10 places to put them in the ground and then water them with his decanter of endless water, and then he'll just go around watering random things in random places.
Okay. I'm so tempted to ask for a nature check, but literally bearing a berry and watering it is probably doable without knowing what to do specifically. So you're able to do that. You bury them in water.
Who did we get the information from? Mike, you're muted. Something about Sarzarinth going down below.
That was my communing, was that
Communing with
he tore
Udeva.
himself through up here and then noticed the tear was shrinking, went and burrowed down below, and that allowed it to stop shrinking.
Toby, when we woke up this morning, did you say you had a way for us to get through that water?
Yes, and I still do.
So, Roulette, this is my question because are you think when you investigated that sequence, you said it was beyond our scope to repair it, right?
It's within my scope, but it would take probably a dozen or so years to do it. Right, Critter? Something like that.
You think it's
A long
within your
time.
scope of understanding. However, it was primal magic, not arcane magic. And yes, you suspect it would take a long time, if not a dozen years, at least a year or more. You think it's long-term, very potent magic that can't be heavily reversed or redirected with the use of simple spell slots.
So Tilperian, it's so not something we could do overnight. And if we're hearing that he went down there, kind of cause and effect, he went down there, hid, and then the portal stopped closing. Maybe there is something beyond that arch, down beyond his hoard, through that nasty water down there.
Well, I gave you Aquilari's horn earlier because I was hoping you could investigate it or something. Because if he was the one that knew the most about Sazerath, and he's the one that would know the scope of his power to create a necromantic version of those ruling things.
I will ritual cast for the next 10 minutes, identify on the Aquilari's horn.
Fair enough. Steve and only Steve at this point can look up the Horn of the Elicorn in D&D Beyond.
And while Roulette is taking time to identify, I will send this message that Telperion has helped me compose.
Okay. Will you go ahead and read it out for me just so I can kind of hear it and try and respond accordingly?
4 Wynds contacting you. At source of Emerin burning. Lizard folk temple. Ritual inverted towards necromancy. Can you join us? Destroy runic sequence? Need advice and aid.
Aid might have been the 26th word. I have to check.
Enough of the point got through. Strange, but useful information. We've never tracked down the source. We would grant aid, but wouldn't know where to travel. Come guide us?
And Toby will relay that.
I feel like that 3-word question is the perfect aspect of someone who knows the sending spell, and they're like, I have few words.
Destroy runic sequence?
Come guide us? Tilperian, I'm not sure this is kind of an arcane focus. It's not meant. Basically, summons a copy of Aquilari. Kind of just a spirit version of the Elicorn themselves. You can kind of ride it as like a mighty steed, or just have it be as an ally in battle. Doesn't really do much beyond that.
Would you try that? Well, could we talk to Aquilari?
I don't think, and Critter let me know if I would get this through like a virtual cast identify. I don't think we'd be able to talk to this apparition of Aquilari.
I'm going to say you're not familiar with the stat block of the creature aspect of Aquilari, so you're not sure.
See what happens. Oh wait, does this require attunement?
Does not seem to.
It does not seem
But
to.
can only be utilized by a spellcaster.
Am I a spellcaster?
Yes, you can cast spells.
I thought you were saying that like I couldn't do it.
There's only one non-spellcaster here.
That's true. Yeah.
Well,
shall we start walking back downstairs, or we? Jerry, did you have any luck?
Oh, planting? Yes, lots of luck. No, we must wait years. I think that's all. Right, Rome? Takes a really long time.
Yes, years.
Can you, like, speed this up, Eddie? I'm kind of impatient.
No, patience.
But,
Things
like,
grow in their own time.
can't you use your magic to make them grow faster?
I don't think that they will grow until we destroy this portal and fix what's wrong with this land.
But isn't fixing the land gonna help destroy the portal?
True. But I don't think that anything will grow here. I mean, I've tried to grow things here.
Yeah, but you didn't try it before. You only tried it before we killed the big scary dragon.
Okay. Fair. All right. I will cast plant growth on this area and attempt to grow these seeds.
Okay. What happens in the shortest duration, regardless of what duration you're intending to make this last through? What happens in the shortest duration of plant growth? Because I know there's like a minute version, an 8-hour version. I can't quite remember.
If you cast a spell using one action, choose a point within range. All normal plants in a 100-foot radius centered on that point will become thick and overgrown. So I would imagine like this whole like circle area would become thick and overgrown.
Yeah, the citadel certainly will encompass most of that area. So Jiri, if you had planted the berries away, like outside on the periphery of the citadel, this radius might not capture some of them, but it might attempt to capture others. Could you give me a little bit of insight on where you might have planted them?
So this is just stone we're on then, right?
Correct.
So yeah, I would have gone down probably to the sides wherever there was like actual earth to put them in. So maybe I would like bring Rome down to the base of the citadel so that she could be closer to where I planted the seeds.
Okay. Does that work for you, Rome, with Jiri's guidance?
I'll follow Jiri.
Okay. With the use of your plant growth spell, you feel a magical connection to the good berries you allowed him the use of. They have not withered and died in this landscape, as they are magical berries, not natural organic berries, so to speak. So they still exist. They have not been suffocated by this land. And as you reach out, you can feel their essence, and you cause them to grow, and you force grow other plants and vines out of the environment, but you feel that there's nothing for them to attach to. They can exist as you conjure them, but they will not grow and thrive when left on their own devices here.
Could I, at the very least, like grow some lichens on the stone and at least like trigger
For sure.
session?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you absolutely can completely change the exterior of this place with the vines and lichens and mosses you force to sprout from between rocks and crevices. But you know, even if it looks better and satisfies your inclination to be surrounded by nature, you know at its heart that's not fully natural. You forced that into being, but it does exist and it takes place.
A fun experiment, Jerry.
Yeah,
We'll
I
come
was
back to you.
expecting it to work better. Oh well. Telpiran, question for you. If we're gonna go bring your friends here, would we all want to go, or would we want to leave some of us behind to guard this place?
I think that we dealt with Sazerath. I don't know much about shadow demonic dragons, but I don't think he's going to recondense immediately. I think that what might be wise is to use the wind sails to go to where the Thanator are, because then we could use the mirror, go straight to anyone needs anything from Athenian. Um, but we could probably be back here rather soon. I bet the druids would
We could be
not
back
slow
here.
us down.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking at the lowest end, like 2 days.
Asio Aquilari.
Amazing. Apparating in front of you, formed from the edge of the horn, as soon as you brandish it like a wand and place it out in front of you, connecting from the other end of the tip, an ethereal, translucent, shimmering green and gold mount apparates slowly into the form of Aquilari. And it simply regards you, Roulette, as the summoner.
I give it a cool little bow. I know you're kind of an aspect of the Elicorn that we met. Are you able to communicate?
It sort of looks off in the distance, almost contemplative, before looking back at you. It seems to have somewhat possibly heard words and understood them in some capacity, but gave no version of a response.
Gotcha. I'll make my rounds to inspect the steed. Telperion, I don't think we're in luck here. I think this might just be more of a visual, physical aspect of Aquilari and less a mental aspect of it. So,
and while you have it open, I don't know if it will let you do this. I might have to send it out in D&D, but you might open a new tab in D&D Beyond and type in aspect of Aquilari. It might pop up as a creature stat block, but I might have to publish it for that to be the case. But just something to consider.
Telperion, I do think friends or allies might be a good thing, but before we leave, if Toby can get us down through that arch down below, I think that might be worth it to do before we leave.
To inspect as well as treasure.
I mean, treasure one, right, and then I don't know if maybe he hid some sort of secret document that said, "Here's how to close the portal that I came through."
Oh, a diary, yeah.
And if not, sails straight away to Dashwood.
I would love to do that. But also, how long is this Helicon here?
I think of at least from what I got from the thing, the wand, it'll be around for about an hour, I think.
Can you ride it?
Oh, can I ride it? Can I ride it? I can ride it. I will. I'll swing up, or I will have it kneel, and I will gently swing up onto it.
It just kind of does that cute horse thing of collapsing onto all of its fours and folding its legs in on each other. You hop on, and then it awkwardly but still majestically stands, and you are riding it.
I feel like Alfie gets jealous.
Alfie's jealous.
I guess I'd say let's go downstairs. I don't think there's anything else unless someone has a secret weapon they can sew up this tear here. I don't think there's much more we could do up here.
I say let's go apply ourselves to something we can fix, and if that's diverting some acid and getting some treasure, that sounds good. And as we walk down, I'm just gonna be like at your side the whole time, like asking, like, so how fast can he go? Are you can he jump? Buy
I
something.
will, I, I will try and make it jump.
It can jump. It can sort of vault like a horse might be able to.
Is it
It's
essentially a
roughly the
horse right
size of a
now?
horse.
Yeah.
It is essentially a horse. There are some magical capabilities though. If D&D Beyond will load for me, it's not pulling up the My Creations page right now. I've gone through some variations on its creation before I settled on a final version, so I'm almost hesitant to say something in case that's something I've cut out from it. But as it walks along the tar-stained earth, including the still deep tar of the entryway, it just walks across the top of it as if it were not hindered at all by difficult terrain in this type of environment. As well as it has a spectral horn as if it were whole. Here we go. It finally opened up for me. Man, D&D Beyond is really fucking up right now.
Mine's going super slow too.
The Alicorn's attacks are magical. It does not suffer any movement penalty from difficult terrain imposed by forest or swamp territory. Additionally, the Alicorn can, once per time being summoned, cast the spell Pass Without Trace. It can take the horn action. It has the charge ability, whereas if it moves 20 feet before using its horn, it does additional damage and could knock the target prone. Its armor class is 13, and its hit points are 38.
Beautiful. Now, I know didn't we fly up here? We did. Rome carried us up some number of feet. So, um, is there a way down?
Into where?
Like back down to the front door.
Oh, you can access the front door. I don't think you had to fly to get up to the area of the citadel you had camped in. I think you guys were flying across the tar pit.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I also flew at one point, but that was to check out the dryads.
To scout. Yeah.
Ooh, important to note, Jiri has been hovering the entire time, just like flying, floating everywhere. He has not touched the ground since you guys have woken up.
I love it. I will, upon the back of Aspect of Aquilari, I will start leading the way and have him gingerly step onto the tar to see what happens in that big tar pit room.
You see his spectral hoof just impact the top of the tar surface, and you do see the tar bubble in a small pool ripple echo out from his footprint, but he is walking on it as if it's a millimeter thin.
And 8 hours after we left it, has the level gone down?
It has gone down, not fully, but another couple inches or so.
Someone with not magical boots want to test it and see if we can walk in it.
Oh no, I'll have Aquilari come back, and I'll get off Aquilari and have him shuttle people back and forth.
Certainly doable. Though he is resistant to anyone urging him on of their own will, only seeming to listen to Roulette's commands.
Gotcha. I will direct him back over. And then directing us back down to the bubbling pool.
Yeah. Let's see. We'll bring us back here. I forget what I left the state of this. Oh, nice. Although Alfie is now once again with us. as well as Aquilari.
Yes.
But you all re-enter this subterranean space.
And Toby will start touching pillars and casting light on them to get some ambient light going in here.
Okay.
Wait, make it big.
Oh, big Aquilari.
Yeah.
Ooh. Though he is slightly translucent in this form, just an aspect or echo of a more powerful being otherwise.
Jeez, he's so cool.
Sad.
Do we have any way of seeing how far this tunnel goes, or?
So I can create space for us to walk down it for about 10 minutes. I could technically do it for a full 40 minutes, but if we could do it in 10 minutes, that would be preferable.
How far in can you get?
300 feet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you just displace the water, or are you just going to create a passage?
I'm gonna part it, because I feel like I can only destroy a minimal amount at a time, and I would quickly run out and not have made much impact.
I wonder what happened if you just like pushed it and it like was going out the other side.
I think that would carry the flow, would carry the grids away with it. So
that's physics right there.
See if I can just separate and hold it and let us walk down there. I should be able to manipulate it if we need to see things, or if you want to investigate things. But
Roulette's gonna just throw preemptively 4 stones, like in a straight line, close, far, farther, and then farthest, just attempting to make like a somewhat lit pathway. But I'll also have my flail lit up.
Doable. Illuminating much of the coin, the muckiness, the thick tar-like sludge nature of this water seems reduced, not gone, but reduced, and seems to be more, less viscous, more water-like.
Do we Toby, can you come with us when you kind of push? Oh, okay.
Does it seem like if there was no acid here, would it be like a gentle slope, or is it kind of a steep drop off at first? They might have to like.
It's somewhat steep at first. It goes maybe a 60-degree angle, 45 into 30, 15, and then is otherwise fairly horizontal, even as much as 40 feet in.
I think maybe it might be best for you to just start, Roulette.
Yeah, I guess
maybe
I
bring
can.
in a rope. I guess we don't need a
That's
rope.
what I was gonna do. Toby, no, it's a good idea. Roulette will take a rope out and tie it to one of the pillars and just kind of like drop it in the water, so that when there's no water, there is a rope that can help climb back up.
Is this a magical rope?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so you throw the half of it in, and you do hear a very slight sizzling, hissing noise, but it's much more mitigated than it was even the previous day.
I pull it out. I'll wait for you to split the water before I.
Doing that so quickly and immediately, no unreversible damage has been done. Maybe a little bit of fraying of sort of the burlap, tightly wound, corded rope, but
I will also ritually cast Water Walk on us, just for an extra safeguard against if we need it or something. Which, if for some reason my spell were to fail, we'd be able to rise quicker. And then, you ready to explore?
I think so. Should I go by myself, or should I at least drag one of you?
Yourself, but
one of you along with me, or are we all just gonna go running through?
Start with just ferrying the treasure back up here.
We put it on the back of Aquilari.
or just shove it into the bag of holding.
Oh, true.
I'd say just maybe just shovel it in.
I forget we have the bag in the book.
For big things.
Yeah, anything big you come across, let me know. I can throw it in a page of the book.
Okay. Let's give this a shot. And Toby will cast Control Water and use Part Water. And I think we'll try and really visualize the water bringing stuff with it as it parts. Like, if I'm picturing acid as a mixture, seeing if I can keep it together with the force of the water separating.
Yeah. I mean, it's suspended in the water. It's not like sediment weighing down as muck on the bottom of the river per se. It's acidic liquid. So as you part the water using the spell slot, you do get the sense that displacement is occurring, but you're able to include kind of your group's entry into this place within the part, that you're keeping any damaging acidic brine away from you all. But there is displacement, and likely it is spilling out onto the other side as well as into this chamber behind you a bit. But with that, you're able to clear a path through which you guys can loot the remaining gold in this place.
We got 10 minutes to start.
I will drop the rope in now in the empty area. I'll hand the bag off to someone else, and I will direct Alfie to assist with the gold stuff. But I think Roulette will definitely go the farthest in to explore a bit if possible.
And I can at will kind of manipulate it a little bit. So if you need me to, like, if it's like this and you want me to change the parting to like that or to like that, I can do that. So it is free flowing as needed.
Okay. As you guys kind of spearhead the charge down there, what are Jiri, Rome, and Telperion doing?
I'm gonna see if I can like gust all the coins up and out of this, like kind of all at once. So I'm gonna try just with like my cantrip gust at first, and then I'm gonna use the wind fan if it's successful to try to get to start blowing them up.
So you're essentially going in farther than the horde and blowing it back up.
Yes.
Okay. You utilize some gust cantrips and some surprising effects happen. Number one, there's a spray of coins, but it's not any version of like a honed, efficient way of moving the coins, but it's just kind of spraying them almost as if projectiles. However, what you do notice as you're hovering and levitating constantly, your gust cantrips are pushing you backward, not at a full movement speed, but half movement speed.
Jerry, why are you flying?
I just have always been able to fly, Telperion.
Yeah, why did you ever keep your boots on?
I don't know. I just feel like hovering forever now. I'm done putting my nice boots on the mucky ground. You'll never see on the ground ever again, Telperion.
But don't those boots help you hover?
Yes.
Oh. All right.
Why do you want my boots now? Is that what you're trying to say? You're jealous of them?
Never.
Seeing an unsuccessful gathering of the goods, I'll help Alfie with the bag of holding start shoveling it.
You and Alfie and Roulette start piling the gold. Roulette, you specifically said you're interested in going out the farthest. Give me an investigation check as part of your looting.
Rome is also going to transform into a raven and sit on Roulette's shoulder as she traverses forward.
Very cool. You can give me as a raven, go ahead and give me a perception check. And I don't know if ravens get any benefits of like keen hearing and smell or sight or anything like that, but if that applies, go ahead and use it.
Great, because I never answered. I'm gonna not touch the gold as much, knowing they're on it. I'm gonna look for like the bigger awkward things that might require the book and keep my eye out for anything particularly interesting.
Okay.
Magical.
You can give me an investigation check too.
Love a new proficiency bonus. 18.
18. You don't see anything that's particularly of note, interesting, unique as like valuables, but what you do find is a hell of a lot of bones that have been reduced to a tar-like state or are fresher and have not met that sort of end yet. Many are pockmarked from the acidic brine. Um, for whatever reason, maybe Sarzarinth did not have adequate time while on this plane to gather different types of items or was only interested in gold valuables. But certainly not a as well established of a layer in the classic sense here as one might have heard from fairy tales and such. Rome and Roulette, you're just finding more gold. Our raven friend, as crows and ravens are sort of extra honed in sensation of catching glints of shiny things, you do find an additional rose-colored diamond and a small square-cut emerald, as well as the rest of the looting, which I'll give you that number in a moment.
Rome flies down to grab these 2 gems and like pecks at them with her beak.
I will Roulette will fall over. It's nice catch, Rome. And I will pick up I'm just gonna write that down really quick because my notebook is upstairs. Michael Jacoby, can you write that down really quick? Rose, diamond, and emerald.
Already did.
Thank you.
You think treasure ever is mentioned without me writing it? Then who has it?
I know.
Okay. So with that, I'll just go ahead and give you guys the final totals of what is left in this hoard as you guys are shoveling it into the bag of holding, along with some grime and muck as well that is sent into the bag of holding. There is an additional, outside of what you have already collected the previous day. This is a new sort of number system. Oh, I should just type it out, but 1,163 copper, 1,210 silver, 1,005 gold, and 11 remaining platinum, as well as those 2 gemstones.
Aquilari wasn't joking about this not being his lair yet.
Right. DM, going as far as I can, does this end in like a cul-de-sac, or is there
How far does the part go, Toby Rama?
300 feet. Yeah, let me double check. No. That's the range that I can cast the spell.
I think it's
the distance is 100, so up to like 100-foot cube. So 100-foot.
Okay. Yeah. So Roulette, you make your way about 100 feet, and it's a weird sensation as this like split in the water is parting around you as you get to that farthest point. Go ahead and make a perception check, trying to see through this water outward.
Can I bring my little raven friend to see if one of us?
Yeah, I would say in this specific situation, does Raven have dark vision?
Does it have dark vision? It doesn't appear so, no.
Okay. So I'm going to say no. For looking outward into the murky water, only your check will apply here, Roulette.
Got it. Make it high. 15.
It seems to continue. A further tunneled, burrowed out section of water seems to continue outward. You're not sure how far or where to.
Can Rome fly back to Toby and grab one of those like little stones of light to continue to fly forward?
Yeah, if there's nothing available, I can cast light on something simple.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go grab a pebble that is imbued with some light, bring it back to Roulette's position, and that can afford you a check as well.
What was that check?
Perception. Same thing. The water, although less viscous, more watery, it's still mucky, and so it's hard to gauge. Your vision kind of blurs and fades rather quickly through the water out ahead of you guys. Not sure how far it continues.
If Rome were to like squawk, do you think she could tell the distance that the echo is there an echo at the bottom?
There is rushing water in front of you that is being parted by Tobiram. You guys are at the very edge of this distance of parted water. So there's no cavernous void outward in front of you to hear an echo.
I see, okay.
We're just surrounded by water and we're like at a water wall.
You're essentially looking into a water wall.
I am gonna quickly, and I want to make sure I know how long I can an action. Yeah, I'm going to expend a spell slot to cast detect magic from where I am, just to see if there's anything I can ping in 30 feet ahead of me.
Doesn't seem to be.
Poop. Stick my hand in the water. Is it burning me? Or I stick a finger in.
There's a corrosive sense to it. It's not as painful as you suspected it would be yesterday.
I just realized something I should have done. So stupid.
10 minutes is approaching.
And I'll start flagging and kind of shout into the tunnel. Only a couple more minutes.
I'm gonna start leaving, and as I leave, I want to particularly look and see if is there stone that looks like it descended and like fell from where the runic sequence was messed up.
With your previous 18, I will say you do get the sense that stone has fallen, but this soiled, murky, mucky ground that you guys are wading through, there's likely stone chunks of debris farther down that have sunk essentially into the earth. That would require extraordinary effort to try and reacquire all of that bit of debris. It's not like there's 3 missing puzzle pieces at the bottom of this tunnel by any means.
I'll leave.
I will run back with Raven Rome.
Okay. The rest of the loot acquired. I will mark that off.
I did the thing again where I took a platinum, I put 10 gold in, and then I put 2 copper in, so I have even numbers. So there's all of it for everybody. Then 5 by 5.
Very good.
We could put that in our inventories so we don't forget, and then also do a bio break because we're halfway through.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I didn't do the numbers from earlier either, so.
Perfect. Yeah, let's go buy a break, and then when we come back, we can make some decisions on what to do next or where to go.
Perfect.
See you in a second.
Oh, wait, I did.
scared me.
Boo. I'm tempted to ask you to do a control water thing that will just launch me through this tunnel.
You want me to flood it and just take you with it?
Do the redirect flow one and just turn it into a water slide.
Again, it is still just that 100-foot area, which is at the start of the spell.
And this would be a Christopher Kennedy. I'm thinking of stupid ways to use expendable resources is my thing. I know I shouldn't be thinking that. Because really what I want to do is use the beat of force and then just put you in it and then just have you control water while we're in it and cast it again and just push us along. But there's so many other fun things I can do with beat of force.
Which again is just the trinket Pokeball from campaign.
No,
that's Raven Slumber, which he also does have.
Yeah. Critter, what's the range on Raven Slumber?
I believe outside of being like an improv melee or ranged attack, you can throw it at things to try and suck them in, like enemies and stuff. But the automatic passive thing is 100 feet.
Okay.
Which will list it in the description of the thing. And you do have that. I added that to your inventory, actually, since you identified it last session.
Beautiful. Thank you. I was about to do that.
And again, any of these items can be, dispersed at will, but you're hanging on to them for now, at least. Do any of the rest of you watch The Last of Us? Am I alone?
I intend
Okay,
to.
you guys do? Okay, Steve at least does. I assume that means Mike might as well. Oh, Mike's not. Okay.
I watched the third one with him, but that's all.
The gay one.
Yeah.
It's so good so far, man. So excited about tonight's ep.
Okay. So we've plundered.
Oh,
We've
that shit.
We've investigated the trench. We've poked the hole.
I was also thinking of one other thing that could potentially be discussed if we fly to Ashwood. And the tear, was it like inches separated?
It's not
from
floating. No, it's not hovering in plain air like your banishment smell of magic sent stars run through. It is literally a cut in the tree that like dark energy is like emanating from.
That's what I was thinking.
The tree itself seems to be wounded with otherworldly magic.
Which I think opens up one more possibility that I can think of.
Burning down the tree.
Just cut down the tree to buy time to re-invert the enchantment.
Pretty fucking large tree.
Which is why I'm thinking
cutting it down might be like
a month I'm thinking bringing a group, like a platoon of elves and like that being their
it's like bigger than a tree from the Amazon.
Well.
Which I think is well illustrated by how the branches were just like overlaying all of that combat area.
And the Citadel goes 100, 120, 150-ish feet up into the air, and the tree looms another couple 100 feet above that, and it's like a canopy over most of the other dead trees in the forest.
And I don't know
here in this location.
Is there a whole other section that we haven't explored yet down by the front door?
You guys did a pass, and you guys, Telperion scouted a bit, Rome scouted a bit. It's like a pyramidal structured citadel, ziggurat tiered. There didn't seem to be any other like obvious entrances and exits and stuff. A lot of portions of it have collapsed in where there once might have been an archway once upon a time. There were probably other rooms and such used for various purposes. But only one of the kind of the subterranean portion was only accessible.
And the tree didn't start, or I don't remember what we said. Does it have its base at the top, or does it seem like it is penetrating the temple?
Seems like it is penetrating the temple. You guys, yeah, when you're at it, at where the Dark Dryads are amassing towards the wound, that doesn't seem to be, you know, where its roots are emanating from per se. Probably somewhere within.
Gotcha.
But then when you guys were inside, roughly 150 feet lower than that, you were seeing roots. So somewhere in between there is kind of the base, I would say.
I still think I want to flow Astral Period. We don't have to go back in the session if people are still like getting ready. But my thought was, what if we get some elves to work on this? I think that the Thanator elves, their whole purpose is to fix the burning of the Emran. They will take to this with a will. But we also know that Chimerans have been nervous about the Thanator elves overstepping into this new terrain, but also the Thanator are hoping to help. What if we could get some kind of alliance formed
And
about healing
a
this
joint
rift?
effort. Also,
Yeah.
this seems like, I don't know if it was Chimeran territory, but it was certainly Villian with all the lizard folk who seemingly ran this temple. So I think it's very important to get them involved as well.
The Villians might know what kind of magic the lizard folk were doing.
Or Court specifically, like as a long-lived druid.
I don't know this 100%, but I think the Thanator elves have many more druids than other houses because of the type of healing they've been trying to do.
Gotcha.
So anyway, could be a really great way to kind of get this terrain ready for the moot that is supposed to be coming of, like, you know, joining, collaborating.
I assume Roulette has like a well written out copy of the sequence in her notebook.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I definitely it's in here too.
So gold has been looted, a couple gemstones as well. Anything else you guys are doing next?
Before we go, can we just finish exploring the two loot? We have two more magic items that we haven't investigated yet. The black pearl with the wooden snake around it, and then the crystal ring.
Gimme.
You
Which one first?
The ring, because it seems less life-threatening.
Okay. You identify it? Steve?
Yes.
Steve and Steve alone may look up and add to his inventory at this moment the Ring of the Grammarian.
Oh my god.
I have no idea what that is. But Steve clearly does.
Look at his little arms.
Since the beginning of the campaign, it has always been here. The second one you can also add and look up.
If the second one kills me, I'm leaving.
The second one is known as Banewood Brooch.
So that's 20 minutes unless you're casting spells.
Yeah, you guys can be killing time here. That's fine.
Can I short rest?
Yeah.
I think if we're planning to bring people here, D20 just D&D Beyond just totally went down on my end. we probably want a very large force in order to potentially take down a dragon if he reappears during all of this process.
Yeah, Steve, the version created in D&D Beyond is a bit different from its source material, barely, but it's pretty carefully worded in some regards.
I shall take a look. Rome, I think this one might help you. Might have to fight off Jiri for it, but you're doing a bit of transformation every most of these days. If you take this, and I will hand you the pearl. It's what is it? A black pearl? Is that what it is?
It's a dark wooden brooch, like almost like a pin of a snake Ouroboros eating its own tail, curling around, and it's cradling at its center of this brooch this beautiful dark black pearl, but it still has this classic sort of iridescent, pearlescent shimmer of that oil slick look of a pearl.
I will hand that to you, and I just deleted it. It's not attunable, is it?
It does not require attunement, but it is known as the Banewood brooch.
So Rome, I will hand that to you, and I will explain whenever you do any of your fun primal transformative stuff. When you do it, your attacks can have an extra bit of acid imbuement. So your Tyrannosaurus teeth can be covered in acid, or your giant ape punches can be acid punches.
Oh yeah, you can definitely have that. I can't turn into a T-Rex.
And
Wait,
I like
or dinosaur. I don't know what they're called. A saurin.
I take the pin and like punch it into my chest and let my wood go around it.
And Delperion, I'm sorry again, but this one's gonna stick with me. It's a bit of a spell casting thing. I'll show you some cool things I might be able to do with it, but yeah, wasn't there armor or something we wanted to look at too?
There was, but don't keep us in the dark. What does the ring do?
Oh, go on. Just hold on.
Okay, he's got to read
paragraphs.
Toby would be very interested in. I don't remember if we determined if the Shatter Kai's armor had been determined to be magical or not.
I'll pull it out.
It was, in fact, and I'll assume we identify that as well. It is Elven Chain. So it is a chain shirt +1, though of very unique make, as it was made seemingly by Shatter Kai, elven kind, in the Shadowfell. Still a very pristine, sort of dark silver elven shirt.
And was his attire outside of the singular chain shirt, was it exactly the same, pretty similar, or was it a little unfamiliar compared to what I saw the band of Serta?
I will say, comparatively to your experience with the Sertamora, you didn't get a good glimpse at a lot of their attire because they were all hooded and clothed in robes. Like they had traveler's cloaks on, dark grays and ivories sort of thing. Whether they were followers of Kelemvor or the Raven Queen or Vol, one Githyanki seemed to be a follower of Vol, whatever that is. But where they seemed almost priest-like or robed individuals, not sure what was under their robes, this one seemed distinctively mercenary-esque. Sort of leather arm cops that had been heavily ruined via acid, tight cloth pants, leather boots, that kind of thing. Like a fighter, like a dex-based fighter of some kind might have been built.
Toby, do you want to wear the chain? I don't know if anyone else can even
Oh, I
comfortably
mean,
use it.
is it? It's better than. I mean, I've got a pretty plain chain shirt on.
It is technically, I think, better than your chain shirt because it's a chain shirt +1. It's a +1 chain shirt, and you can add elven chain to your inventory.
I'd love to.
And there's the scroll, but you guys already identified or saw what kind of magic that was. Don't know if there's anything else.
Alex, what is Rome's? How is she kind of like just in the space? Does she seem calm and fine to go along? Because I feel like Toby's thinking about like if she hasn't spoken up or anything. I don't know if I would need to roll like an insight check to.
Yeah, out of curiosity, before you answer that, Rome, Toby, go ahead and give me an insight check just for the fun of it, and then I'm going to frame a question to Alex in a way. Even with a 6, 15's really good. Yeah, Rome, it definitely let Toby Ramen know if there's a certain way Rome's behaving or acting or poisoning herself like in this room, but also maybe let him know if there's anything that seems to be unsaid by her, if she seems concerned or curious or something, anything that might go noticed by an insightful person.
I think Rome would actually be somewhat of like disoriented by being in this place for so long because she is so like connected to life, and to be in like a place that's so dead and like necrotic, I think would be disorienting for her. So I think that she like, you know, is dealing with that, but then also with like an urgency of like, we need to heal this place and like figure out a way to kind of bring everything back. So I think like she kind of like wants to get out of here at this point.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, Roulette, how's the ring? Anything you want to share? Is it a secret?
Not so much a secret as it is a bit confusing even for me, and I don't mean to. So I can do a lot of things with this ring, and it kind of gives me options. I can kind of borrow from everyone else spells that you all can cast. I can pick one or something. I might be able to borrow some, and then I might be able to make something brand new. Let me I'll test it out before we get to sleep tonight, and I'll find something I can do it with, and I'll show you firsthand what I can do. Yeah, it's pretty strong stuff.
Okay, cool. Well, should we go use the sky?
The wind
Stick.
sails.
Wind sails.
I think we have the time to leave and potentially come back, and I'd love to clear my head of this space that we're in. It's pretty oppressive.
Well, hold on, tell Piran. I got some questions. These elf friends.
Oh no, Tim's video and audio just completely cut.
These elf friends of yours.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. There it is.
All right, these elf friends of yours. Now, are they friendly? Because last time we met your friends that were elves, they arrested us.
I think we're on much better terms with all elves now. You have free permission to go around the,
I mean, we have
elvish cities. Yeah, and Elena in particular. I mean, we, in a sense, went over Mile Light a little bit. He let Toby visit his house, and Elena Mulwyn, she was the one who studied under Mile Light in a sense. he's kind of the one who got her position. So anyway, I do think we'll be in much more of a good standing. And I from what we're seeing here, we don't know the history of this place. I don't think the powers that we bring can, unless we just destroy this powerful magic, which we possibly can't. I think we need help. And I think that these are the people who are most qualified to help, who we also have good relations with.
Okay, as long as you promise we won't get arrested.
I promise we won't get arrested, but I don't know if you'll do something that would get you arrested. Do you know what I mean?
No.
We still have laws.
Yes, there are. I can't guarantee if you if you murder someone, they
We're
wouldn't
not
arrest you,
wanted
but
at the moment.
yeah, you won't be wanted for simply walking into this place.
Gotcha. But what if I need to murder somebody?
Check with me first,
And have a good reason ready.
and have a good reason ready as to
Okay.
I mean, we've
So,
murdered here and there,
All right. So
but only evil people.
Correct.
I think let's get out of here and see if being out of these barrens will allow us an easier time at making a decision.
Okay.
One thing we could do. What happened when we put that? Remember when we put that the sphere? Could we take that so other people couldn't get in here? Wasn't that like a key?
That swarmed the area with poison, right?
It contained the poison when we put it in. I think.
I mean,
Well,
I don't
Rome-
think there's anything really living wandering around here that poison would be like.
But just imagine someone that came and took it, and then we would have harder trouble navigating.
Sure.
Maybe we can bring it with us.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Put it in Rome's or let's book maybe.
Bag of holding be good.
Oh yeah. Or the bag holding.
Just since the book is not a renewable, there's a finite number of pages there.
Rome, how long does your illusion terrain last?
It's a great question. I believe it's for a decent amount of time.
Because we could always,
Set a trap or something.
well, just make it look like
24 hours.
there's no. Oh wait, how big of an area?
A 150-foot cube.
Oh, that's pretty big.
So yes, we definitely could create a terrain and leave it here.
Or like a really big no trespassing sign.
Or just like a wall so they don't even think they could trespass.
A wall with a sign on it that says no trespassing.
There's only one thing that really worries me is the dryads up top, which we don't know if they were gathering there before we got here.
Oh, yes. I wonder if when Sarzarinth left and was defeated, if they then were able to start returning. Interesting.
I mean, I'll stay here and kill them all day if you guys hurry.
We wouldn't want to leave you here alone, Yuri.
And we would be returning in large numbers, hopefully, or at least a bigger group that we could handle whatever had gathered.
Yeah, how long do I think it would take us to get to where the Thanator settled, their city?
That's a great question that I've been waiting for someone to ask. Go ahead and give me a nature check to try and pinpoint your location that you currently are in the Barrens.
Ooh, can we see the map screen?
You bet.
21.
Wow. Then you get this information easily.
We love a +7 nature.
All right. So here's the deal. You guys, so far, are right now you're at the Citadel in the middle of the Barrens. You think House Thantawar, the Ashwood Elves of Mythindil, or Gray's End, are about 20 or so miles west of you. As a note, Based on the very high elevation of Cor Ital and the levitate spell via the wind sails, you guys were able to sustain 2 full hours of flight, fast flight with action dash and bonus action dash, to get that 40-mile journey completed in 2 hours. Notably, you're now ground level. So the maximum, I did some math just to save us time of doing the math. From ground level, even at the top of the citadel, which buys you 100 feet or so, or you could climb the tree and buy yourself a couple extra 100 feet, but by getting 2,000 feet up in the air via the levitate spell over the course of 10 minutes, you can get 7 miles or so horizontally in 20 minutes. You could get farther if you could buy yourselves more height, but the time it takes to descend that 2,000 thing equates to 20 minutes. So max speed based on the default levitate spell can buy you 7 miles of traversal. What that means is in 20 minutes, you can go 7 miles. The rest of a day's journey would be 13 miles. Slow paced travel would be considered stealthy, light activity travel. Wouldn't be a harsh trek per se. So you could not make it all the way there based on the wind sails, but you can get a third of the way there and then complete your journey on foot, taking it easy, basically.
Are there any... We get ourselves higher between Rome and Jiri.
I can fly up for a minute and then do levitate with my wings. That would gain some substantial distance, but not perfect. But
I can play as well as another like larger creature and potentially carry one person.
Oh wait, I can make a bunch of us fly right now. I think I can make myself and 2 others.
I can go an extra 600 feet in the air, right? Because I can go 60 feet around for 10 rounds.
And how high does levitate spell get us?
2,000. Levitate buys you 2,000 feet over the course of 10 minutes, because you can go 20 feet around, 200 feet a minute, 2,000 feet in 10 minutes.
So what would be a meaningful amount? Like if we could tack 500 feet on?
No, that's not going to be that meaningful. Really, you got to buy yourself another 2,000 gets you another 7 miles. Another 4, if you get 6,000 total, then you're buying yourself an hour of flight and can make it 20 miles. So your really ideal world is buying yourselves not just the 2,000 from levitate, but another 4,000 to crest that whole way.
With a flight spell, we can't even all do it, but how high can we get with a flight spell?
I think flight spell is 60 feet of movement, 120 feet with a dash for X amount of time. It gets several thousand feet, way more than levitate over the course of 10 minutes.
So Jiri takes Topirian, Roulette, and then Rome carries me.
Well,
up high as well.
What if I cast levitate on myself and then I use side eye to bonus action get myself a fly speed of 80, or I can if I do my boots I can be faster. I can dash up.
You're just gonna burn through all your resources in 7 rounds or whatever is the problem.
I burn a lot of side eye, but yeah.
And yeah, several rounds means there's no way you could sustain that for more than a minute. It's going to take you guys upwards of 10 minutes to ascend to the heights you guys need.
Yeah, why don't we just fly? 3 of us fly, and then Rome turns into a bird and carries Toby.
Roulette's in the corner, like
big bird,
tapping Alfie with the Raven Slumber just to see if it would work. And I'm gonna
ding.
I'm gonna tap it real hard once and see if I can put Alfie inside of Raven Slumber.
I'm gonna give you your Arcana is so high, you already identified it. I'm gonna give you this information for free. Something about the enchantment of this item being of the Matron of Maven. Yeah, the Maven, Matron of Ravens. It requires a living creature can only occupy that space.
Put me in there and let Rome carry Alfie.
Alfie can go in the book, can he?
I don't know if I can't put Alfie in the book because he's currently a
He's not an object right now.
I'd have to kill him.
I pull out my greatsword. Well, Alfie, it's been
No,
great.
I will.
We can
Toby,
carry him.
Toby, you're the one who has wings in case of emergency. I'm the odd one out right now. So, and I will hand you the
Ooh.
the Raven Slumber. Whenever you're ready, I'm not one for kind of believing in souls and
So,
stuff.
okay, and Alfie will follow instructions from Rome if she carries him.
Yeah, Alfie knows if I'm not here, default is someone else in the group, Rome #1 usually. But he's got his own wind sail in there.
So
Yeah.
Rome and Alfie, Rome if you're willing to carry him,
Of course.
and then Jiri if you can make Telperion and I fly as well as yourself. I think that buys us some meaningful altitude.
Wait, how long can you fly for?
1 minute. My flight will not get us, or at least it will not get only me. It'll get me 600 extra feet, which is maybe an extra mile.
Wait, then who?
No, you get 1,200 because you can dash.
No, my movement speed is 30, so I'm
Oh,
dashing
never
to
mind.
get to 60.
600. Yeah.
Wait, who am I taking again?
And you, me, and MK.
How's Roulette?
Roulette is gonna go inside the Pokeball.
Oh, you're gonna. Whoa.
Because if something goes bad, then I can kind of fly, get us to safety, let her out, and reassess.
Well, I can let us fly for 20 minutes if we need to.
Oh, doing it twice?
Yeah,
Rome.
that gets really high.
Rome, how long can you fly for?
For as long as my wild shape.
Tough time.
Several
Okay.
hours. Yeah.
Several hours.
You could get us
Or-
20 minutes. 20 minutes, Jerry. That's, I think, almost the whole way there.
Shall
like-
we?
Within, like, hour, an hour. Or maybe more, but
Roulette. Quick maths. I'm just talking through you as my puppet of genius mathematics right now. I think you guys would suspect if fly speed is 60 when you cast fly on people with a dash, 120, 1200, 12,000. You think you could ascend a 6,000 foot distance vertically in about half an hour with fly dashing straight up.
Does that
It just consumes a big spell slot from Jiri and uses, of course, Rome's wild shape.
You'd only need to get
So
us.
it wouldn't take 20 minutes. I didn't mean half of an hour. I meant half the duration of half the duration of the fly spell. So 5 minutes, not half an hour, half the fly spell, which is 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. I was
Sorry about that.
confused.
I was so confident about my math. I'm like, oh, I didn't mean half an hour. I meant half the duration of the spell.
I'll say that out loud for the maths in there. Jiri, I think you only need to kind of cast that once to get everyone up to the 6,000 feet. I think it'll be good.
Let me do some calculations in my mind. Yep, I just checked your math, Roulette. You're right.
I appreciate the double check.
Shall we
Okay,
get out of
let's go.
here?
Yeah. But here's the thing, guys. We have to hold hands the entire time. That's the only way my spell works.
Okay.
Yay.
Last thing before I go take a nap for a bit. Keep an eye out for that big bird that was chasing us on the way here. Maybe it'll be worth it to, I don't know. I don't know. Keep an eye out for a big bird and
We should be flying over the Barrens most of the way, so I hope he doesn't roam these areas. All right, let's get near the top of the citadel. Let's not get all the way in case we don't want to mess with any more druids or dryads before we take off.
All right, we'll be back soon.
We will be back soon.
I will dismiss the aspect of Aquilari that has been following us around this entire time.
And got us over the
Perfect.
tar pit again.
Perfect.
I will ready myself and say, "At your command, Master Ironson."
Roulette, as Tobirama touches this pendant necklace, this amethyst to your skin, a flash of white light emerges from it, and you feel something tugging your essence. Do you succumb to it?
I having identified it, and I'm confident in my magical research. I will let.
Okay. It's disconcerting, but you go with it. And Tobirama, you alone see white wings surround Roulette's form and pull them into the necklace. Roulette, you emerge in a dark gray stonework chamber, maybe 20 by 20 by 20, and there's just this monstrous vision up in front of you, and you're seeing essentially through Tobirama's eyes.
Is it through the thing or is it through my eyes? Because I think Toby would start like.
Yeah, I guess
looking at it
almost
and, like...
almost from Toby's perspective until you see it warp around and you see Toby's face because it is from the pendant's perspective.
Just my big mug.
Roulette is immediately down with a notebook, sketching and mathematicaling and
making use of the time.
Yeah, perfect. So Roulette, you effectively get a short rest while the others have to utilize exertion to focus in air travel over the course of the next hour. With the use of the fly spell, Rome shifting her form into whatever she shifts her form into. Giant Eagle. And carrying Alfie.
Yes, my talons.
Ooh. Okay.
I will grab Telperion with my right hand and Toby with my left hand. We're holding hands, and I like cast it, the fly spell through both of them, and I like hold on really tight, and we like take off together as like a flying V.
You hear in your head, Jiri, I know you don't have to hold hands. We've done this before without holding hands.
And then I say back, don't tell Toby.
Amazing. So you guys ascend. At some point, it gets disconcerting how high above the barrens you are, and how can you even judge how many feet you are up? So it completely becomes a trust exercise of, Roulette said 5 minutes, so you kind of count 5 minutes.
Let's go 6 for the
Okay.
sake of...
So you err on the side
sail
of
down
caution.
if we wanted to.
Yeah. You err on the side of caution and ascend where you think is appropriate. And as you're pulling up away from the earth in this moment, you're seeing the barrens, and you can see the peak of what you think is different color forests around the barrens, maybe the hint of what is probably where the Arborlock drains into the river behind it, to the north. The barrens itself still looks dark and twisted, but the fog that had been suffocating that landscape there seems to be gone. And it is a welcoming sight, even if it's being still choked by ash fall from that corrupted tree. Things are improved here, at least. And you begin your crest westward.
I will send...
Yeah.
I can do 2 more messages. Technically 3, but I will send a message to Alana, letting her know that we'll be there.
Elena, more
say,
wing.
We are on our way within the hour, ready to guide and ask for advice. And then if there's not anything meaningful, just an acknowledgement, I'll kind of...
Yeah, she will acknowledge, say some sort of, very well, you guys make great use of your time. We will anticipate your arrival.
And then I will send a message to King Mordecai.
Okay.
And say, there was indeed a dragon prowling the barrens. has been vanquished temporarily. We make for the nearest elf settlement to seek their aid, and will reach out to you for aid as well in the near future.
Purely for the grandeur of the regalness of Mordecai's response. Toby Rama, this one appreciates your word. Coordinate with the elves. We will send our own into the forest to begin scouting.
Cool.
And right back to travel.
I love that Toby's like our little like cell phone.
What is? I can't wait. We're still at a point where it feels like, can't we just wait till the end of the day when I'm sure I won't need these spell slots? But we're quickly approaching the point where I feel confident using these up somewhat liberally. Because yeah, I have my 1s and my 2s left, and then my 5th level slot left.
Well, perfect. You guys continue to sail through the air, wind rushing past your face, even with the terrible landscape of the barrens below you. It's still a beautiful sight in just the widespread, the absolute mammoth size of the Emerald Forest. You, even with this not as big continent as like our own continents, you cannot see like other nations from this height. Like, it is so expansive, this terrain. And you guys sail westward. Anything you guys want to do while you're up in the air? Toby Rama cast a couple sending spells. Roulette, you can let us know if there's anything specific you're doing in your study room.
I'm attuning.
Anyone else? Okay. Also, Toby Rama, yeah.
I'm unattuning the Smith's companions, and I'm attuning the new ring of the grammarian.
Understood. Toby Rama, did you put the elven chain on?
Yes, and I took off the chain shirt that Roulette had infused, and I've already adjusted my AC for that, and I'm planning to talk to her about that.
Very nice.
But yes, I have the chain shirt on under, my cloak and other adornments.
Okay. Also, just as a note for the gemstone comparison, you guys can let me know who puts those in your inventories. The rose-colored diamond looks beautiful and sizable and looks very valuable. The square-cut emerald looks, not substantially, that's too strong of a word, but looks noticeably more valuable, more clear in cut. The emerald is worth more. You're not sure what those are, but
I know an elven jeweler who would likely buy these from us.
It's true. Emmerich Casimir Diamond the Fourth. Yep. Well, you guys sail westward, and as you're descending 10 feet per round, dashing with action and bonus action with the sails doing all the work, but requiring your focus to pilot them, you guys are able to continue until you get slower and slower toward canopy tree line, and then we get to that spot where it becomes, oh no, rough landing ahead. Whoever's sort of guiding you guys' path, can you give me a perception check?
I'll help with that.
I can be scouted up front as well.
Okay. Does Eagle get any benefit like keen sight or anything like that? You might get advantage, Rome. I'm not sure. Ooh, Toby rolled really high as well.
Let me see.
While we're waiting, Jiri would have been like practicing like at his acrobatics, like in air, like doing loops and spirals and trying to show off, and then trying to get like Telperion to do it with him, probably.
You get the hang of the wind sails very quickly. They're very intuitive. And so it's almost to the point where when you're driving, you almost are just like mentally commanding where you're going. Your hand doesn't barely move the steering wheel. That's kind of the sensation you get from these wind sails. You just they go where you intend them to go.
Topier's definitely looping around too then.
The
Very
giant
well.
does get advantage, but I didn't do much better on the second roll. So.
Gotcha. With a 14 and a 26, you guys identify a patch in the canopy that looks a little lighter. And what's also more notable is as you're approaching, there's a little bit more green. You guys are approaching the end of this terrain of the Barrens, and you see actual green out ahead. And you're going to come in likely a little ahead of that, not quite in the green. But there's growth where you're going to land. This area of the landscape is not as choked down as the rest of the terrain you've come from. Toby Rama, you specifically hear shouting down in the distance below the canopy.
Am I able to make out any words that remind me of the elven words we had been hearing? When we had,
as you guys get closer, hard to tell what words from this distance with minimal volume reaching your ears, but you do suspect they're yelling in Elven.
I'll kind of signal to the others that we're above them and we should start descending.
Okay. As you guys descend, you guys can kind of pull back and brake on the thing. Since you're not trying to dip down as fast as you were in the rock flight, you can control your descent a little better. And as you come to rest on the forest floor, you can hear more clearly a little bit of the yelling out ahead. Quick! I lost it! No, there it is! No, not me! Shoot it! And you hear echoing calls of Elvish phrasing that Toby Ram, you hear that in Elvish. The rest of them understand it in Elvish. As you've kind of guided the direction of this, and it seems to be not more than 60 feet ahead of you. There's some sort of commotion going on in the distance.
Having landed safely, whether she's ready or not, Roulette will pop out of the necklace.
Okay, Roulette, you're ejected rapidly. You see Toby Rama, you only see the wings, the ethereal wings just open wide in front of you as if they were attached to your chest, and Roulette stands there once more.
Take it off and drape it around Roulette.
Nope, Toby, you hold on to that.
Oh, okay. What are they saying, Telpiran? I can't make it out.
It sounds like they're attacking something. We should rush over? But they...
You guys are welcome to rush in that direction if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I'll get my greatsword out and a sliver out as I run.
Okay.
I have no pre-combat spells to cast, though.
Will you announce us?
Oh, sure.
Once we get the site, just so they don't.
Yeah, I'm on the lookout. Do I see do I see elves or just hear them right now?
As you're rushing past, you hear the commotion getting closer to you, and finally you do see the deep blue, dark muted cape of a Selethar ranger up ahead. Seems to be looking up frantically up into the tree cover.
I yell out to the Selethar in Elvish. What has attacked you?
But is that Prince Loon's song? Get over here. We need your aid. You and your friends. Quick. And as you guys potentially rush toward their aid, could I get sort of a marching order? Who's in front of who? Just to understand the layout here.
While we were running over, Jiri will use his spell Refueling Ring to regain a 3rd level spell slot.
Okay.
Rome's gonna drop Alfie and allow it to roll towards Umbrella and stay in eagle form.
Okay.
I'll go first though, because I always want to present my elf self to the people first.
I'll go second.
Understood.
Roulette's in the back. She's finishing up notes.
I'll be 3rd.
Roulette in the back, Rome toward 3rd. Telperian up front, Jiri in 2nd, you said, roughly?
Yep.
Okay. I've got a rough pecking order here, and I will go ahead and move us to this map. You appear up here in the upper right side of this map, running downward and westward, and you see up in the tree a Selethar Ranger, and you can barely get a glimpse of additional Selethar, looks like 2 more off in the distance. And the Selethar says, "Lumberers, face spirits, it's a whole thing. I'll let you know of Elena's intent originally, but help us and the captain get rid of these creatures."
Certainly. We can do that. Do they fly?
And then no, they just blend in. Oh shit, there it is now! And I'm going to have everyone go ahead and roll initiative.
Absolutely.
Level 9 initiative.
What does that mean?
I don't know. First initiative at level 9. Shut up. It means I go first.
Bird. Oh, you didn't click. Oh, I guess. Did you click on your bird?
Oh, whoops.
If we need to tinker with initiative, we certainly can.
Yeah, mine was 18.
Ah.
It didn't link.
Well, we can figure that out. Okay, so Rome, we said your initiative was 8
18.
or 18. 18. Okay.
Ooh, you quick
Give
bird.
me just a moment. We'll just add you into initiative, even though you're on the. I just hid you on the GM layer, but we'll just make you visible, and we'll just move you off to the side a little bit until you're actually in that form. Add turn 18, you said. All right. With that, it looks like Roulette is up first. And I made sure we're using the updated attack Alfie icon.
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
That is glorious.
Yes.
All right, Roulette, you are up.
Hearing him say that they blend in, and I'm gonna be like taking a look around. I will just take like a few steps forward with Alfie, and I'm just gonna hold an action of Firebolt until I see something threatening that appears.
Okay.
And I'll even say bonus action. Alfie will hold his action for also a one dose of the wand of magic missiles for the same thing that appears.
Okay. What are your and Alfie's passive perception, if you don't mind?
Mine is 14. Do I know Alfie's? That's a great question. Passive. Oh, his is 18.
Oh, very cool. You issue Alfie the command to fire at when he sees something, and his missile immediately goes off. You see several darts of force energy erupt from him off in this direction.
Okay.
And impact a tree and then disperse, definitely dealing damage. Go ahead and roll damage for me on that.
Oh, damn.
13.
Really good roll.
13 damage. Got it. You're confused by it as he seems to see something you're not seeing, and these darts of magical force immediately just detonate against a tree off in the distance. Is that it for your turn?
Yeah, so I'm still holding my action until I can see it as roulette. Yeah.
Okay. After your turn, at initiative count 20, another individual makes his voice known. You see a vine lash out toward a branch limb near where you guys are, and being pulled from it by his hip, soaring off in your direction and perching, landing seamlessly on the edge, is this individual.
What?
Greetings, friend. Hail, Prince. They're lumberers. They will blend into the surrounding terrain. Try and do anything you can to pin down their location, and then you'll be able to attack again. Otherwise, he doesn't move quite yet, but makes himself known at initiative count 20. Otherwise,
Right.
Rome, it is your turn.
Do I recognize him?
You think very quickly that is Captain Din Verdon, a very highly regarded Selethar Ranger captain who was specifically selected for House Thantor's creation because of his sort of legitimacy and competency at leading his troops in a very dangerous environment.
Got it.
Rome, it is your turn.
Can Rome tries to pinpoint where exactly these vines are originating from so that she can like use her talents to like wrestle them.
So as a note, the vines seem to be pulling Captain Din Verdon toward a branch, and then he landed, and it retracted, retracting into his sheath at his side. So it seemed to be a magical capability of his, not a creature.
Okay. Do I get a sense of where this creature is if I can't actually see it?
What is your passive perception? I think you're high enough.
Oh.
Where
Also,
is passive perception on here, Tim?
Also of note,
Under saving throws.
19.
Yeah.
19.
19. Definitely.
Small,
what was your of note? Yeah.
Small quick note, there is a tiny bit of acid dripping from Rome's talons and probably early on from her beak as well.
That is very true. Rome, with your passive perception, in this location where Alfie's forces of darts went, of his magic missile, you see this creature.
Whoa.
A 15-foot tall lumbering beast of bark holding a large club-like trunk. And there seems to be a glowing essence sort of puppeting. The whole thing almost looks like it's hanging and suspended from its head. You see that off in the distance. The rest of you, now that one of your actual party has identified it, anyone with a passive perception of 15 or higher can see this creature. Anyone lower than that is going to need to use some sort of means to find where creatures are or identify them. Otherwise, you're going to be shooting with disadvantage functionally.
Okay, so because I have a 80 speed for flying, I'm gonna move to be next to that beast, but I can't actually click on my.
I am fixing that right now. Save. You should have control now.
Excellent. And I am going to multi-attack this thing with my beak and talon attack.
Okay.
Plus
You are
5.
welcome to do so. And you see that there's 2 additional Selethar over there, also up in branches, trying to look around frantically for wherever this thing is. They can't even identify it clearly, holding bow shots at the ready. Go ahead and roll your attacks.
This will be the beak.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Very nice.
This will be the talons. Okay.
With the beak damage, the extra d6 of acid becomes extra 2d6 of acid as well.
All right,
so go ahead and give me that roll.
I'm going to do 2d6 plus 3 because that's the...
Okay.
What's it called? Okay. So 5. And then I'm assuming there's also the acid as well.
Yeah, so it's the normal beak damage. Did you
1d6
crit?
Plus normal.
Okay, so you get an additional d6 of piercing damage and then 2d6 of acid damage.
Oh. My bad.
All dice are doubled.
There's the other d6.
So 11 piercing plus how much acid? Should be 2d6.
Four.
4. You impact this thing with your talon and claws and beak, and you see that it is somewhat resistant to your piercing damage from your beak. But what is your claws? Is that slashing damage?
The claws are slashing damage, and that's 2d6 plus 3.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that as well. It seems to resist the piercing damage a little bit, but the acid and slashing take full effect on this creature.
Nice.
And then plus the
Another
1d6
10.
acid, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so that was the slashing, and then this is the acid 3.
Got it. Some heavy hits into this beast. And now that you just seem to attack something, both Selithar Rangers are going to blindly, with disadvantage, fire their arrows into roughly the spot you just attacked.
Can I do the same thing at disadvantage, just shooting where?
Yes, you
Rome was?
absolutely may. Absolutely. 1 and 2. But both of them will use their Eagle Eye.
They're eagles?
For an additional 18 total and 10. With their Eagle Eye ability, both of them will actually hit this thing, but with piercing damage that it does resist a bit. But looks like 8 total damage from their end. How much from you, Roulette, did you hit? 16. You fire blindly, and then you see a spray of fire as you did strike true. Go ahead and roll. How much damage is that?
2d10 incoming. 15 fired at. Damn.
The fire damage it's not vulnerable to it, but it does catch a little bit. And now hovering in the air is a burning tree that you guys can at least target right now. And that will do it for Rome's turn and the held action of a couple individuals. Okay. It is the Lumberer's turn. By the way, I'm personally very proud of the name Lumberer because it lumbers and it's made of lumber. So it will use its wood hammer. Rome and both of the Selithar individuals, I need to make a strength saving throw. That's a fail on him.
The strength is going to come from the giant eagle this time, correct?
That is correct. Yeah, you retain the mental scores of yourself, but you get the physical scores of it. DC 15, both of them will fail that.
Damn.
Rome, you take 12 bludgeoning damage and are knocked prone, which means you fall out of the air. We're going to assume if you're attacking it from the air, we're going to say you fall 20 feet. Can you please make an acrobatics check to see how well you land? The same is applying to this individual who was also knocked out of a tree.
Hold on. So is this a new precedent that prone can affect flying creatures and knock them out of air?
That's always been a case. Yeah, if you prone a flying creature, it drops to the ground.
But
that's in the raw.
Sometimes creatures have immune to prone is usually.
Yes, that is also true. Yes. Being a flying creature, maybe having a magical flying speed could adjust that. I'll need to look that up. But a creature flying prone does drop to the ground.
Okay, this is acrobatics checks is 16.
13. You fall to the ground and take. Okay. You take.
I didn't +3. It was my bad rolling it.
Got it. You take half damage, so only 6. No, sorry. Hang on. 2d6. I didn't roll yet. Okay, so you only take 2 damage for falling to the ground.
+8, 12 initially?
The 12 plus 2, yes.
Okay.
This individual falls, Wilhelm scream, to the ground, falls prone, and
Dies.
I did not roll his acrobatics check yet. But does also manage to shrug off some of that damage, so he'll also just take the 14 total. He is knocked prone and takes the original damage. That is its first attack. With its second attack, it will attack this Selithar Ranger that shot it first. With its slam attack.
Thank God.
28 will do it. And with 21 bludgeoning damage, this Selithar is bludgeoned to the ground and falls unconscious. Jiri, it is your turn.
All right. How high above the ground is the lumberer?
It stands about 15 feet tall or so. Very large, not as large as some of the surrounding trees, but it almost seems like a patchwork of bark that had been ripped off from surrounding trees and is now being puppeted.
Oh, so it's not up in the trees. It's
Correct. It's at ground level, just standing high. The other Celathar Rangers are up in the trees shooting at it.
gotcha. All right, I will get as close as I can to it.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll just blast it with some air blasts.
Okay. With the burning from roulettes until the beginning of its next turn, you can target it without disadvantage. So go ahead and roll. And I don't even know what your passive perception is. You might be able to target it that way regardless.
11.
Okay. So the fire is helping you identify its location. 28 definitely hits. The second one does not. You lose sight of it for a split second, but 13 force damage. Okay. Anything else for Jiri?
Jiri resists the urge to blast it with water. He is about to take out his water bottle and then thinks otherwise.
Okay. Fair enough. Will that do it for your turn?
That's it.
All right, Toby Rama, you are up next.
Upon striking down that ranger, did the lumber seem to kind of begin to focus on other things, or did it seem like it was going to keep attacking?
Definitely seemed to hit it and then look over toward the bird that it had knocked down toward its right.
So I can probably get off. What would be helpful? I think advantage for him will be good. So I will to here, and I will use Spare the Dying from a distance to stabilize that ranger.
Bonus action, Spare the Dying.
And then for an action, reach back to the quiver, not drawing an arrow, but conjuring energy, as I will shoot off a second level guiding bolt.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
To
16.
hit. Do I want to do anything with that? I will see if that hits.
You thank goodness for the fire barely letting you target it. The cinders beginning to wisp away into the air, but you do strike it true, igniting the fire further.
So that's 5d6 of radiant.
Indeed.
Plus a d8 of one more d8 of radiant damage. Wait, no, ignore the extra d8. It's only for cantrips and weapon attacks, so that doesn't apply to spell attacks. So 18 radiant damage, and it is now kind of shimmering with energy, granting advantage to the next person who attacks it.
Perfect. I will mark it as such.
That's my turn.
Okay. Telperion, you're up.
With the boots. Stamp them into the ground. Bonus action. Well, actually, I think I'm gonna. So what I'll do is I'll go. I'm gonna move partially through these guys, and then I'll do it. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then I'll do the boots here. Get 30 more feet of movement, and then I'll go over here.
Okay, Rome is on the ground, so you will run past Rome.
Sorry, Rome. You take a d6 fire.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your fire damage.
A 1.
Okay. The lumber and Rome's bird form take 1 damage.
Oh, okay. And then I will attack this thing with my greatsword, dropping my sliver to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
First strike definitely has advantage. Actually, both are going to have advantage because Rome is flanking with it.
Okay.
Also, now when you were in the air, Rome, it was fine having you positioned like that. I'm going to push you back 1 just because when it knocked you out, it can't occupy the same space as you. But go ahead and roll, Topiary.
18 to hit on the first.
18 does hit.
Love that. One and a two, so I'm gonna reroll both of those. Oh, another one and a two. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9 damage on the first hit.
Okay.
Slashing.
Seems to take it.
Measure slashing. Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, second attack. 27.
27 absolutely hits.
All right, another. Some new D20s, the 6s out there. All right, a 6. I'll psionic strike this too.
Okay.
Okay, so can I make a strength save to go prone?
Yes. Let
15.
me see if there's any version of and that still works on any type of creature, not just like a size category specific.
Oh, I'll check. It might. I mean, is it massive?
It's a huge creature, not large. So if it's like restricted to only large or lower, then it won't make that. But
that's a really good question. You've mastered new ways, telekinetic thrust. You deal damage to a target with your psionic strike. Doesn't say anything about size.
Okay. Then it will definitely make that save.
15 strength save. Oh!
You carve like an axe chopping through wood. You carve through one of its limbs, and it just falls prone in its space.
So it's taking 15 plus 9, 24 damage. Yeah, 24 damage and then prone.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Okay, you guys are chopping into it pretty healthily. The Celithar's turn. This individual is stabilized, not dying, but still unconscious. This guy will hop to his feet. Guiding bolt is gone,
Correct.
but the fire still remains, so he can target. He will rush over here to flank with Bird Lady, and this individual will use some tree hopping to get in a position where he can target it as well. Okay, we're going to go the guy on the left first. Cuts into it, but just harmlessly, as its bark is rather tough. Same thing. He gets his long knife out, and it's not quite long enough of a blade to do meaningful damage, especially being a piercing weapon. It's not meant to be hacking into wood. Harmless on that guy, and then bow shots from this other individual. Nat 20. And the other one will miss, but on the nat 20, he will use his second eagle eye to give it an additional d10, which will be doubled. Both ones. For looks like 21, 23 damage halved, as piercing weapons are not that effective on these creatures.
So it's just a roller coaster. It gets eagle eye, but it's only one. But it's a crit. It's another one.
Yep. That will do it for their turn. And then from behind, Toby Rama, you see it in time for it to not have advantage on its attacks, but appearing behind you, lumbering from the other direction. And the Celithar says, "Fuck, there it is. I knew it was there." He will do a wood hammer as well. And I need a lot of people to make a save here.
Yeah.
And I don't think I can send that to chat for some reason, but Celithar, Toby, Captain Dinverdon, and Roulette all need to make a strength saving throw. As it spins its club in just a spin attack, its upper torso like snapping as it's rotating around quickly.
My +1 from the Cloak of Protection, allowing me to make strength saves at +0.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh!
Hey!
Roulette, success. Toby, success. I need to do a Celithar. and a Captain Verdun.
Oh no.
Even he fails as well. Roulette. 6 bludgeoning damage, and you are not knocked prone. Tobirama, 6 bludgeoning damage and are not knocked prone. Both of these guys are knocked out of the sky. Take this damage, are prone,
But he had
as
looked
well
so
as
cool zipping across.
as well as some additional damage.
Do they get to check for falling?
Yeah, they will. Acro from Ranger. Oh, he has athletics, not acrobatics. So it's just a dex check. Both of them beat a 10, so they take half the falling damage. But they're still knocked prone, since that was the ability of the creature. With that, it will then take its first strike on probably Captain Verdun.
Ah!
I'm ready to cancel out any crits happening.
Okay.
No crits from crit.
Oof.
25 will do it. Can he do anything? Not with that, he can't. 19 definitely bashes him heavily, but he's hanging on. That is its turn. I should have said this when this one was damaged enough, which has only recently happened, but this lumberer, as it has been hacked and slashed and attacked, parts of its bark are falling away. And I need
Oh God.
Jiri. Wait, is it 10 foot? Yeah, it's a 10-foot radius. I need Jiri, Roman bird form, Telperion, and Selithar to please make a Constitution saving throw.
17.
17 success.
Yikes.
Everyone else is gonna fail it.
Oh.
Yeah. 3.
4.
So anyone that failed takes 11 points of piercing damage as a horde of insects and bugs emanates from it like a cloud and starts swirling and biting at everyone near there, and is poisoned. Telperion, you take only 5 points of damage and you are not poisoned.
I will use my reaction to rebuke it with my cloak.
Hey.
Okay. This was not an attack. Does that function as an attack? Is that the
Attack.
trigger?
Oh,
I think that might be an attack roll based thing, not taking damage.
Okay.
But that is it. It is Captain Dinverdon's turn. He will hop to his feet like a acrobatic person that can do that thing where they from the back to the feet,
Skip up.
and he will utilize his vine whip,
Oh.
and out from his lotus blade sheath, a vine attaches to the creature, and in a whirl, he's going to use his multi-attack and action surge to make 4 slashes as he spirals this thing, cutting into it.
Dude, he's being very Attack on Titan, and I love it.
None of these have advantage per se. They're just attacks. Miss.
No.
Miss.
No!
Bad miss. And a hit. So many of them are cutting harmlessly into the bark before he plunges down into its chest, stabbing his lotus blade into its sternum before jumping back and landing on a nearby branch. Only doing minimal damage to that beast. But that will do it for his turn. Roulette, you are up. Yeah, that wasn't inspiration for that at all.
Since this thing can just hit me, can I see it right in front of me?
This thing has not been hit by fire damage, so you see Levi, you see Captain Dinverton spinning around this thing, cutting into a tree that just moved into you. But as you try and focus on it, you're not sure if it's in this space or that space, or if it's thin or wide. You're just seeing forest terrain out in front of you.
Okay.
But you know loosely where to target because of where it was sort of interacting in its space. But
I am going to. I'm gonna pop over. I probably can't flank it because I don't know where it is. But I can go stand around a tree. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna move here and into the general vicinity of the tree in front of me.
Yeah.
I am going to deep breath channel some arcane magic into my hand, and I will burning hands cone up in front of me, hoping
very
for
doable.
40d4 of damage if possible.
Yeah, no attack roll necessary certainly on this one, but it will definitely make it say, is it a dex save?
It is a dexterity save. Why is it only 16? Oh, it's 16, yeah, because it's my con. Yeah.
14 is going to be a failure. This cone of fire definitely
Hey.
ricochets upward into it and starts wrapping around it, and you guys can all now clearly identify this one, its space, no longer benefiting from its false appearance.
And shit. Sorry.
Ignore that. Sorry,
Oh.
I accidentally clicked. Sorry.
Wolf. 15 fire damage.
15 fire damage. Got it. Not vulnerable, but certainly reducing one of its capabilities.
And we're just gonna have fun with this one. What's my hit die? D8.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I guess it would just be Toby on the other side of the tree. You see some of the fire go back up into my hand, seemingly, and seems to suffuse up into my arm, making me look stronger as I gain 4 temporary hit points.
Very fucking cool.
What?
Anything from Alfie?
Bonus
Or
action.
bonus action.
Now that there's a lit up Christmas tree right in front of him, he's gonna come up as he's coming up. Actually, no, he's gonna get on the opposite side, and he's gonna make a swing with advantage. I believe it's plus. I have the button for it.
It's a very 45-degree angle flanking as Captain Denver Don's up in the tree, but still flanking with Alfie on the ground.
Yes. This one. I don't know if that went. Did it go?
It did go through as a single roll.
Roll again.
Additional reaction! Exclamation point. Definitely hits.
27. And then it's gonna be. Jesus, I can't click out of this. Get out of here. 1d8 plus 4. 9 steel defense poke damage.
What type of damage is that? Is that force?
Force damage, yeah.
Okay. It seems to take it all.
And that is my turn.
Rome, you are up. How's your bird form looking?
Still have 3 health left, poison and prone.
Yes.
I'm making it through. So I'm gonna spend half my movement to get up, and then I'm gonna fly over to the beasts. I have 80 movement speed, so that's fine.
As its bird prey starts running away, as it's prone, it will just try and slam out with its trunk-like fist as you leave.
Ooh.
Disadvantage since it's prone, but... Ooh! With disadvantage, really good rolls. 25 bludgeoning damage as you make it 1 square away from it. So I think 3 into your bird form, but then I think you appear as Rome.
Yep, but that wouldn't be an action expended if I fall out of...
No, you haven't done anything. You've just only used 5 feet of movement so far. It just happened to clock you, and then I think 22 damage spilled over into your Rome form.
Yes. All right. So that's
I would have shielded you if it would save your form, but I can't get 25.
It's okay.
That's meaty.
Wasn't expecting that to happen.
Man, it got so lucky with that disadvantage that it still rolled 18.
18,
Yeah.
19, yeah.
All right, I'm going to wither and bloom this thing.
Okay.
Now. So 10-foot radius. So I'm gonna be hitting myself and the creature. So
Okay.
Constitution saving throw.
What's your DC?
16 or
17.
17? Yay!
Nice. These things have meaty con saves, and you beat it.
Oh, it
nice
does say
work.
+0. Holy shit.
2d6.
Yeah, it's a plus in. Okay, so it takes, and it is not resistant to that, so it definitely takes the 9 necrotic damage, and then you gain some health. Is that right?
Yep. So it's 1 unspent hit dice
Plus,
Okay.
plus my ability modifier.
and your spell
Okay.
modifier, right?
So it's plus 5, yeah. Right?
Yeah, D8 +5, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
You tell me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's just would it be a d20 plus 5?
Plus your
Or a
Constitution
D.
modifier.
D8 plus 5, right?
Sorry, d8
D8 plus 7 because it's con and
5. Right, yeah.
Oh, then yes.
D8 plus
Very
7.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Hit dice is the D8 plus con plus the plus 5. Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so 2 plus 7 is 9. So I gain 9 health.
9 hit points back. Anything else for Rome?
That is it.
Rome, were you had failed your save against the poisonous insects? Yes, you are poisoned.
Yes, technically.
Your poison ends with a pulse of pain as you take a violent turn of your stomach. You take 8 poison damage, but then the poison condition ends for you.
Gross.
Okay, so I think I I think I net gained 1 point.
Nice.
That's fine. Okay, great. That's all.
Then it will be the lumberer's turn. Slowly, different parts of bark almost are siphoned to its legs as it uses its different limbs to stand up in a jarring way. And it will use half its movement to get up, and it will immediately see if its wood hammer recharges, which it does. Wood hammer. Oh, this poor guy. It's not an attack roll, so he's going to take a death save, but not 2 death saves. It's not a critical hit. But Jiri, Rome, Selethar, and Telperion, I need another strength save, please.
Critter. I'm sure it recharged. It's having you roll d10s for the.
I'm not seeing a roll anywhere.
I did the recharge roll only ever rolls in D&D Beyond for some reason.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, no, that was the bludgeoning damage for the ability, and then I rolled the recharge in the D&D Beyond. If you guys see the recharge thing in the chat, in D&D Beyond. Okay, Rome. That'll be prone again, and 18 bludgeoning. Very sorry. Jiri, very strong. Good work. You push it off. You only take 9 damage and are not knocked prone.
Hold on, less than that because I rolled earlier for my little crown thing that makes me resistant to damage, and I rolled.
He rolled a 2. I remember seeing that.
With Jasenir, the Crown of Storms, yes, imbuing you with resistance to bludgeoning, you only take 9 halved 4 damage and are not prone.
Nice.
Telperion, how'd you fare on that? 16, you also succeed, taking 9 bludgeoning damage and are not knocked prone. And then
this
our
is not an
ranger
attack
friend. This is not an attack roll. It is an effect. He also succeeds and is not knocked prone, but takes some damage.
Rome, how you looking?
I'm like half good.
Okay.
I'll shield this one that you just took.
Okay.
Okay. So how much did you shield of hers?
5.
I'm half
5.
good.
So Rome, you get 5 hit points back.
Okay. Thanks, Telperion.
Unfortunately, it is going to try and slam attack the one it knocked prone.
Which is me.
Which is you. Does a 16 hit you?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. For another 24 bludgeoning damage as it just smashes your form. But that is its turn.
This tree creature hates
I'm so
you.
sorry, Rome. Yeah, it's a battle of the tree creatures, and face spirits at the same time. Jiri, it is your turn.
Yeah, currently poisoned. Let me see something real quick. Concentration.
You
Okay.
see more light
Um,
emanating from it along with its shed bark.
Gotcha. I am going to pull my ripcord on my puffy armor and step up to it and punch it twice as a bonus action.
Okay. Absolutely advantage per flanking.
Disadvantage per poison.
Yes. Your turn has not concluded yet. Yep.
So
straight
normal
rolls.
roll.
Yeah.
1.
Is poison gonna proc his puffy armor? Probably not, right?
Okay.
It's not an attack. Both of these hit, and you learn in this moment it's actually easier to hit now that it has been reduced to its current hit points and has shed some of its bark-like armor. Along with the arrival of the insects, its AC went down. Both of those deal damage, although it is resistant to the bludgeoning effects of your fists. For
It is
taking
magical
8
bludgeoning, if that helps.
that has been accounted for.
Got it. Okay.
Will that do it for your turn?
Yes.
Then your poison will end in a pulse of violent retching gnarliness as you take 7 poison damage.
Ward hose.
But my puffy armor keeps me nice and comfortable.
We're going to suspend disbelief on how that's possible. Yes. There's steam on the inside of you guarding
Like a
your
warm
intestines against yeah.
That's funny.
How many of you can I hit
Yes.
with Javelin of Lightning?
Perfect. If that is it for Jiri, Toby, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna request, with being one away from a passive perception of 30, to ask who is the worse off. I know Rome
Damn.
and the Celithar, who is on the ground, are looking real rough. Who else? If I had to pick 4 more people, Jiri's
I think you're gonna.
fine.
Rome is probably pretty banged up. I don't know what her HP is. This Celithar agent is like gripping definitely a broken rib and is like barely breathing. This guy is hurt but hasn't been damaged as heavily. Captain Didverdon has taken some good hits and is still like really composed in his stature.
And then Telpiran, you handled your hits pretty well, right?
I'm at 62. I'm good.
Okay, so I will go Celithar, Captain, Rome, and Roulette, because you got hit by one of those swinging hammers, right?
I took like 6 damage.
I'm gonna hit you anyway with a mass healing word at 5th level, because that's the only level I can cast it at.
3d4 plus
3d4 plus 5, which is a full 17 to the guy unconscious, because
indeed it is.
And now I will roll.
Wait, Steve, you only have -6 health?
Yeah.
Give it to Jiri.
Oh, give it to Jiri instead.
I would have passively noticed that Jiri was better off then. 3d4 plus 5 roll. 9.
9, but to many different individuals, still very valuable.
And I will start running towards Rome, as that was my bonus action. Will this thing swing out at me?
Do I also get health?
Yeah, you got 9 health, Rome.
Okay.
Yeah, 9. Yep. Yes, Toby Rama, as you move away from it, its long reach with its club just reaches out to slam you. So
disadvantage.
It definitely will do that. Oh, Alfie. Does Alfie's... He just has to be within 5 feet of the attacker, not the attackee? Okay, very nice.
Specifically the attacker, yeah. He needs to be...
Very nice. Disadvantage on the strike.
Which, even if it hits with disadvantage. Okay, we're fine.
Natural 1.
I will run over to Rome and with my action use a feature, my healing hands, to give her another 9 hit points.
Very nice. You're not wearing healer's heroism, are you?
I'm not. That would have only got me 5-10 points.
Yeah,
that would have been
just
nice.
curious.
that was how much movement was that? Let's go. It was
Looks very minimal.
yeah. So I did boom. Can I wait? No. Could I do this easily? Like, could I squish between
Yeah.
Jiri and Rome?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll do that, and then run back away, prompting this guy as well.
You already
If,
used
if,
his
Okay.
if he wants to
Yeah,
attack me.
he's gonna see a little running around creature and then run away from it. Yeah, he'll use his reaction on it.
Did he just have his...
he already used his reaction to hit Rome out of the air.
No, that was before his
That
turn.
was before his turn. His turn had come back. Rome's turn is before his turn in the initiative.
Oh, never mind. I was looking at the wrong one. Sorry.
He did recharge his reaction. So he will try and hit you, Toby, with a slam.
Nice. Don't even have to use my ring because I was planning on just using that to milk out their reactions.
Smart.
And I think it leaves me with 5 more, so I'll go
32 bludgeoning damage into the forest floor
Holy shit, I didn't
harmlessly.
even see that. I'll move there, and that's my turn.
Okay. After Toby, it is Telperion.
All right. Am I flanking with Jiri, or do I need to pivot to do that?
Yeah, you're flanking.
Okay, I'm gonna attack twice.
Go for it. Advantage.
19.
Pause.
I can move if I need to.
You think you're still flanking with it, but the fire effect has removed itself. Oh, but your boots, as long as you
I'll move that. Yeah, if I know that I need to reproc it, I'll move here.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
I was waiting.
That will hit the Celithar, not to be like a fucking
Yeah, whatever. 2 damage.
narc about it, but okay. He takes a little damage from you, but now the fire begins to lick up the form of this thing, and it is very visible.
Okay, so we'll just honor. Well, do you want me to re-roll the attack roll you did? Or?
No. The attack roll he did still fine.
All right, so 19 to hit.
Definitely hits.
4 and a 3. So 7 plus 6 is oh my god. Almost 13.
13 damage.
Yeah, so yes, 13 damage.
Okay. This beast is looking very low and cut up and chopped up. You see the light from its face, like whatever is existing within this like cavity of facial bark is like moving all around, very sporadic and frantic.
All right. So I brought my sword up, and then I'm going to just kind of pivot and do another attack.
Okay.
With a 22 to hit.
22 definitely hits.
4, rerolling a 2, got a 1. 11 damage.
Okay, 11.
And then, having not killed it, I'm going to action surge to try to kill it.
Okay, go ahead and roll your additional 2 strikes.
Is it like, let's just imagine like for this, like I'm like dodging around its big wood hammer thing as I'm hitting at it. 26
definitely.
to hit.
26 definitely hits.
Rerolling a 1. 2 4s.
Did you succeed on the poison earlier?
Yeah, I had a 17 in my
Okay.
concert.
Thank goodness. I was like, oh shit, I should have been factoring disadvantage on these, but that's not the case.
So I have 3 4s total. So 12, 18 to hit. I'm sorry, 18 damage.
18 damage. It's pretty frail looking.
Get a psionic strike just in case.
Okay.
My last hit's not going to do it. Plus another 10.
Okay. With that, how do you kill this creature?
At this point, I think like Telperion's just like he's just going through he's just swinging, and on the last strike he just swings through, and as he cuts it, like these like psionic explosions are happening where it's like he's telekinetically enhancing his blade strike, and he's just slicing through the core of it.
Okay. It sort of falls, settling, and the core of it leans over and falls, collapsing to the ground. And from the head cavity, which just smashes into brittle twigs, you just see a burst of ethereal golden energy dissipate.
Ooh, very nice. So I used
Whoa.
1,
I
2,
Roll 20 just did something.
So that's 10, 20, 30. Oh no, I'm so stupid. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Try not to hit anybody. 50, 55. And then I'm going to object interaction. Oh, you know what? He can handle it. I'll just come over here and I'll swing.
Okay. He's also. Oh, he was knocked prone, so he is ground level. Yep. Okay. How much damage does he take?
3 fire damage to the captain and to this tree. And then a swing on this guy. Is he
His
prone or
form
whatever?
is suddenly. No, he's up.
Okay.
Both of the Salithar individuals are prone, but the fire licks up into this form and suddenly much more visible now.
Okay. 24 to hit.
Definitely hits. This otherwise healthy-looking lumberer.
16 damage.
Got it.
Then I'm done.
All right.
Roll 20 weird thing that happened is I don't see the initiative counter anymore.
I just got it back up. With that, that'll do it for Telperion. Gets up from prone. This guy is going to dash with a cunning action, get up into a tree, hop over into the farthest branches, use all of his movement, fire an arrow toward that guy. He will do the same, actually. Cunning action dash, climb into a tree, arrow, and then the Captain Din Verdon will once more draw his lotus blade, and the sheath sends out this vine that he uses like a tether, swirling around this guy for 2 attacks. So let me make these attacks real quick. From the bottom left guy. He has another eagle eye available. That'll do it for 11, reduced to 5. Then this guy, 1. Hit 2. Both of those hit for 22, reduced to 11. And then Captain Din Verdon will utilize you guys' positions as he's slashing, as he sort of spirals around this creature with his temporary flying speed due to this ability. He will make sure he's flanking as he attacks.
Amazing. Can we kill him?
27. You guys are welcome to kill him.
From him?
Both of these as slashing damage with his Lotus Blade will not be resisted. 22 damage. And as he is cutting this thing up and shears a portion of its form away before flying off and landing harmlessly, not provoking opportunity attacks with his ability, landing in a branch. Oh shit, sorry! And you see portions of this thing form fall, and I need Telperion, this guy, Alfie, and Roulette to all make Constitution saves.
Anything from this Selithar on his turn, as he is up. I don't know if you just...
Oh yes, you're absolutely right. He is up. I'm gonna say, being brought back to unconsciousness, he's gonna not take his turn just to like recoup, speed things along here. Success, Telperion, and Alfie I need.
I rolled a 2, and with Indomitable, because I was going to fail, I re-rolled, so 12 plus 7 is 19.
Wow.
Very cool.
It's my first Indomitable, it worked!
Let's go.
Nice work.
This is for poison damage?
This is for piercing damage.
Oh.
But I need one for Alfie. It's not magical piercing damage, if that makes any difference.
He's immune to poison. That's what I was wondering.
He will not be poisoned regardless of his roll, but the rest of you, anyone that failed, I think everyone succeeded on that one. So you guys take 3 piercing damage and are not poisoned. However, at the end of their turn, this guy does drop to a knee on a branch and as he is hit with a pulse of poison.
Gross.
Not a ton, but enough. Okay. That is the Selithar's turn. It is the Lumberer's turn. Does its ability recharge. I'll roll this D6 in roll 20. It recharges on a 4 to 6. It does not recharge, so rather than that, it will try and strike at 2 creatures. Roulette, did you just hit it with fire damage?
Yes, on my last turn, yes.
Okay, I think it's going to target you with both of its attacks.
I also hit it more recently with fire damage with my boots.
Yeah, but I'm going to say that 3 damage didn't really gather its notice like the 15 or whatever Roulette did to it.
First one will be at disadvantage
First one at disadvantage.
from Alfie's second poke.
Second reaction. Very nice. 11. Once again, dust and dirt kicked up from the impact of it, but you dodge to the side, and then it will just sweep that attack horizontally, trying to hit you with its multi-attack second attack. 16 to hit will not hit you.
Who are you talking to?
You dodge them both. That is the lumberer's turn. Insect horde already activated. Okay, it's all good. Forgot that Din Verdon wasn't supposed to act on Salathar's turn, his own turn, so we'll say he did his thing now. Yeah. Roulette, your turn.
Bonus. When does the flame go out? Meaning I can't see it anymore.
No, flame is still activated because Telperion re-upped its duration.
Perfect. I will. I'm gonna start scooting around, getting right over next to Alfie, give him a little pat on the head, thanking him for the deflection, getting opposite of Telperion's flaming boots. Bonus action, arcane weapon, light the flail on fire. And I'm just gonna take 2 swings.
Go for it. Advantage for sure. Fire on the flail. All the things.
First one.
18. 18 definitely hits. And its
gonna-
form looks easier to hit now that much of its bark has fallen away.
11 bludgeoning, 2 fire.
You definitely see the fire impact, but the flail of your head kind of bounces off the bark more quickly than you would have anticipated.
Fuck it, I'm doing it again. Yeah.
18 will hit again.
The same thing.
God.
Yeah, exact same thing. That's crazy.
Woof.
6
6
and
bludgeoning,
4
4 fire.
for 3 and 4 for 7. Got it.
Uh,
Bonus? To ignite your flail. Got it.
Alfie's gonna stay right where he is. And yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Rome, you are up.
Rome has been weathered in this battle and is very angry, so she summons a horde of wasps and locusts after this beast by casting Blight.
Ooh.
Very cool. It is a plant creature. Does it get disadvantage on this throw, or isn't there something about plants with blight?
Plant creature or magical plant, it makes the saving throw with disadvantage, and the spell deals maximum damage to it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Holy
Ouch.
shit.
Oh
All
my
right.
God,
Is that a
that's
con
amazing.
save?
Ooh, they're good at those.
DC
Is it?
17,
Yep, con save.
They are good at con saves.
6 or lower.
Okay. So it does manage to resist some of them, but the halved is still max damage for, I
Yeah,
think.
32.
Advantage.
Oh yeah,
Thir-
disadvantage.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. Sorry about that.
It's either 64 or 32 damage here.
Dang.
All right. Let's
Yeah. Sorry, absolutely right to call me on that because it could have definitely mattered. So it succeeds, but I think still takes 32.
half damage.
Yeah, and its max would have been 64, 8d8. So it'll take 32
Whoa.
necrotic damage as
Oh.
you just see this swarm of insects rot away and eat the bark like termites, just eroding wood.
Amazing.
It looks pretty bad after that attack.
Excellent. That's all.
Okay, that one is dead. Jiri, it is your turn.
Smashy, smashy. Jiri runs over to it.
To flank with roulettes. Wait, hold on. I probably can get farther. Where was I? Here? Yeah, I can get there.
Yeah, you can run all the way around. Yeah.
All right, and I will smack it twice with advantage.
Correct. Go for it. Both of those are going to easily hit. Total damage on those, you might be pretty close.
13, 18.
13 total and 18 total.
Yes. First hit for 13 total, second hit for 18 total.
It's still alive.
All right, 2 cloud punches.
Rolled with advantage. Uh, 20 will hit, but 13 will not. I want to tell you what its HP is. But I guess it already rolled at 7. How do you want to kill this creature?
Jiri slashes its legs like whack, whack, and cuts through one of its legs. And as it topples down, he just like the cloud punch just like gets it right on the jaw and like
Amazing.
spins its head around.
Beautiful. And as it falls to the ground, just like the previous one, as it collapses, the form just wilts in like brittle branches, snaps as it collapses, and just a puff of ethereal fairy energy dissipates from its head. Dropping down next to you all is Captain Dinverdon. Well, that was opportune timing. I imagine you're here for to arrive at Mythindale, Prince?
Yes, we were hoping to speak with Elena.
Very well. There's 2 more of these things out there, but we'll need to recoup and send some other additional scouts out for them. We shouldn't have too much trouble tracking them. Seems our little Fey wisps were corrupted by some sort of pulse of dark energy that just erupted from further in the Barrens, not but more than a night's rest ago. Very well. We'll escort you back home.
You look at the group.
Any of the
Speak
Celifar
more.
who are like limping, I'll go and dump a couple cure wounds into.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, unless it looks like Jiri almost wanted to say something, but otherwise,
I'm curious about this pulse of energy he's talking about. But we
do
can
you ask him about it? Okay.
We can save it till next. I'll ask him at the beginning of next session.
Very well. Well, come. We'll escort you home. And now, flanked by Captain Dinverdon and a few banged-up Selithar Rangers, they will escort you the remainder of the way toward Mythindil, Gray's End, and the base of House Thanatoire, the Ashwood Elves.
Get that. Roll much your HP.
My HP at the moment is 26.
Let me help you with that.
Oh, I'll help too. Before you do. Because my resource comes back easier than yours,
Okay.
Toby. I'll go up to Rome and put my hands over her head, and I'll give her half of my second wind. 6 plus 9 is 15. Half of 15 is 7.
7.
7.
Telperion, make an intelligence check as you do that.
Okay. I rolled it 2. 5 total.
Okay.
My
and
broken
then,
branch is heal and regrow.
and I will also do this plus 10 for an extra 37, as I have used all of my spell slots for the day now.
Telperion regrows a tiny little twig, and then Toby's like, "Here's a limb."
Perfect. Well, we will pick up back here as you guys have arrived at the home of the Ashwood Elves. Ankin, converse with them for aid or whatever else you want.
As we walk off into the credits, I will walk up next to Telperion and I will show off the ring. Telperion, just watch. Just maybe he'll be distracted for a second. And as Jiri is walking in front of us, you will see my ring light up. And as I go to cast what you normally expect is Firebolt, I will twist the ring and I will cast Fire Boot on one of Jiri's feet.
You see a spurt of flame erupt from Jiri's one boot. And yeah.
Intending it to be harmless, just
Yes,
make
it
it
is
a visual effect.
It is definitely harmless. And Jiri, you feel like a propulsion as you're like forced into the air like a foot or so before you land briefly and quickly.
Oh my god, what was that? Ah, this is why I'm going back to hovering. I'm never walking again. And he will hover.
So you changed one letter of that spell.
Yes.
Very cool. All right, nice session, everybody.
Whee!